Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Dragon Ball. My cat will eventually become a god of destruction. Chapter 61. The boulder was about 3 meters high and towered over this grassland. I saw that the purple-red point of light appeared on the boulder in the blink of an eye. A scene that shocked Vic appeared. Snap. The whole boulder was like a soap bubble, shattering at once. Boom. With a soft sound, the boulder turned into slag and disappeared with the wind. Bike's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. What is that thing? What was that trick just now? How can it have such destructive power? I can feel. This move seems to be even more powerful than my magic light-killing cannon. It is also more powerful than the energy released by this kid who turned into a giant ape before. The great ape energy just blew up the mountain. But such a small point of light. Directly turning this boulder into slag, it would be too hot and unbelievable. Cold sweat broke out on his face. Vic could see it. The purple spot of light just now was too weird. Definitely more threatening than those huge energy attacks. Uncle Bike, how about that power? Son Gohan grinned. Vic stopped talking. What Vic is thinking about now is, if that purple point of light hits your body, what will happen? 543. Will I also directly turn into slag like that boulder? Dunzi smiled on the side, and there was a little more approval in his eyes. This little doubting is not bad. Destruction was comprehended so quickly. Although it can only be considered an entry level. But it's also very good. I think it took me a long time to get started. But that's nothing. I was just a cat. Bah, I'm also a cat now. How did I wrap myself around again? I still have any deficiencies, and I hope that Uncle Vic will point it out quickly, so that I can revise it in time. Son Gohan said to Bike. Vic. A look of horror appeared on Vic's face. When did this kid grow to this point? You don't need me to teach you at all. You can cultivate with a cat, and you can improve your strength so high. I was also speechless. There are still many shortcomings, but it will take time to test. Vic pretended to calmly say to Sun Wuhan, today's training ends here, you continue to cultivate according to the original steps, I will point out the problem to you. Quote. But Uncle Bike, you don't seem to have trained me today. Sun Gohan scratched his head. Vic, you kid knows to tell these big truths. Well, today is a good performance, let's do it first. After Vic dropped this sentence, he quickly slipped away. What the hell is going on with this kid? Is it really a genius? Is he a more genius warrior than Monkey King? My current strength is not much different from Sun Wukong. This kid has only been cultivating for half a year, has he already far surpassed me? Vic was very unbalanced in his heart. Universal Capsule Group Headquarters. Yuan Dong is studying the scepter of Bardos. After studying for a moment, Yuan Dong never found how to use this scepter. How strange. How to use this thing. Also, what is this crystal ball for? According to Dunzi, this water ball can observe the entire universe. Why can't I see it? Just because I'm not God. Yuan Dong carefully looked at the crystal ball on top of this scepter. Watching and watching. Snap. A blue light suddenly flashed on the crystal ball. Yuan Dong was taken aback. Why is it still with a sudden flash? The light continues to flicker. What is this situation? Yuan Dong didn't understand. Flashed for another moment. Yuan Dong found that a playful and cute blue-skinned beauty suddenly appeared in the crystal ball. Yuan Dong looked at this blue-skinned beauty in surprise. This blue-skinned beauty is not Bardos. If Bardos is compared to the little sister next door, then this blue-skinned girl is a charming beauty. The blue-skinned beauty has 2 double ponytails, and her eyes show a trace of confusion. Because the double ponytail beauty should have discovered Yuan Dong. This double ponytailed beauty is none other than the angel Makurita from the 11th universe. Who are you? Makurita frowned and looked at Yuan Dong and asked. Hello, I am Bardos' fiancé, please take care of me. Yuan Dong greeted. Makurita, what are you kidding? Bardos' fiancé? Isn't Bardos' fiancé the one from the City of Angels? Definitely not looking like you. Makurita wiped her sweat. Could it be that Bardos and he already have a substantial relationship? Makurita didn't dare to think about it. Bardos's fiancé has a good status in the City of Angels. Even if it is my father, I am afraid that I will have to let him. Don't make trouble. Makurita felt that it was unlikely, and quickly said, what about her? Quote, "Who are you? Do I know you well?" Yuan Dong asked rhetorically. Makarita, you don't know me, just like you. Also Bardo's fiancé. Makarita didn't know what to say about him. Well, when you see Bardos, let her contact me. Makarita replied. Who are you? You say your name. Yuan Dong Dao. There will be a display on the scepter, she herself will see it, so be it, goodbye. After Makarita finished speaking, she directly interrupted the call. Hey, Yuan Dong shook his scepter. However, Makarita's figure has completely disappeared. Yuan Dong immediately closed his eyes and silently let go of the induction. Soon, Yuan Dong discovered that in a very, very far away place, there was a person's signal that had just been interrupted. And the range that this person's signal just touched is this side of the Earth. Is it that far? It feels a bit like the 11th universe or the 12th universe mentioned by the Dunzi. These two universes are farthest from the 7th universe. So, that girl just now is an angel in the 11th or 12th universe. But this is not a problem, take the time to ask Dunzi, Dunzi should know her identity. Only, how did this thing light up just now? Hey, did you bring your own call function? Yuan Dong looked at the scepter and asked. The scepter did not respond. I know you can talk, hurry up, if you don't speak, I'll beat you up. Yuan Dong threatened. Scepter, this violent maniac, what do you have to entangle with this stick of mine? I was also speechless. I need to control it through the power of angels. The scepter flashed and typed out a line of text. This line of text just appeared in front of Yuan Dong. After Yuan Dong read this line of text, the text disappeared on its own. You said to control through the power of angels. I didn't control you just now, how did you run out of these words? Yuan Dong smiled and said, don't talk to me about these useless things, you know I don't have angel power. Quote, some of the angel powers that Bardos left behind on me have not been used up before I can communicate with you in words, and once all these angel powers are consumed, I will fall into a deep sleep. The scepter replied. Yuan Dong silently looked at the scepter. It seems to make some sense. At least I can't find a reason to refute you for the time being. So you have angel power in your body. Release a little bit for me to study. Yuan Dong ordered. Scepter. There was a brief silence. Snap. A brilliant flame of light the size of a sesame seed appeared from the crystal ball at the top of the scepter. The brilliant flame of light quickly appeared beside Yuan Dong. Yuan Dong caught the brilliant flame of light with his hand. Is this called angel power? Yuan Dong felt the angel power in his hand. Yuan Dong felt this thing. It is also a way of diverging energy. It seems to be more refined than ordinary energy. It can be said that it is pure to the extreme. Monkey King, their energy is too mixed. The purity of the angel power has reached hundreds of millions of times their height. Is there a difference between this and me? Yuan Dong said, gently raised his hand, and a brilliant flame of light appeared in his hand. The scepter was slightly stunned. Snap. Yuan Dong directly injected this brilliant flame of light into the scepter. The scepter shook violently. The next moment, the scepter that had not had much luster suddenly appeared on the surface. The scepter suddenly felt as if he had been reborn. It seems that everything is the same. Yuan Dong smiled. What angel power? It's just that ordinary energy improves the purity of the essence. Quote. Scepter. This is the power of true God. What do you know? Now that I can inject some angelic power into you, you can be obedient. Yuan Dong smiled. The scepter did not speak. Dumb, isn't it? Yuan Dong frowned. When I accepted the angel power just now, I felt that you were very cool. Do you believe that I beat out these angel powers of yours? Quote. What do you want to do? I'll just cooperate with you. The scepter was helpless, and flashed a few words again. Want to do something? Yuan Dong thought thoughtfully, find me on this earth. A gathering place for beautiful girls. Quote. Scepter. The scepter wanted to cry. What are you? You let me do this kind of thing. I will be laughed at by my peers. My dignified scepter of angels actually went to find a gathering place for beautiful girls. The scepter was extremely resistant in his heart. It's just that the scepter clearly knows that if he doesn't look for it, it will be a storm that greets him. The scepter obediently went to find it. Snap. The scepter did good things to the end, directly projected the projection of the scene and presented it in the form of 3D images. Suddenly, this picture feeling. Is this backstage for the model's show? Yuan Dong nodded in satisfaction. Good stuff. That's a good thing. Knock knock. At this time, a knock on the door suddenly sounded. Please come in, Yuan Dong greeted. Snap. The door opened. Bulma walked in from outside. The next moment, Bulma saw the 3D image presented in the living room at a glance. Bulma rubbed her eyes. When did Yuan Dong bring the modeling show to his home? And where did this find so many girls? Bulma, you came just right, look at this thing is magical, right? Yuan Dong said with a smile. What? Bulma hadn't reacted yet, and her brain was a little short-circuited. It's this stick, it can actually project 3D images. Yuan Dong smiled. What? Stick? Bulma then focused her attention on the scepter. It turns out that this stick made it. Hey, you immoral stick, you hurry up. Bulma huffed and slapped the stick to the ground. Scepter. This woman is so fierce. Stick, can you scan Bulma in all directions? Yuan Dong asked. Scepter. Can you do something serious? Snap. Yuan Dong had nothing to be stingy with, and directly threw over a mass of angelic power-like energy and covered the scepter. The scepter moved in his heart. As long as I have enough angelic power, I can definitely escape his clutches. Scanning this girl in all directions is just a few angelic powers. I'll just cooperate with him. Snap. Scepter scans Bulma secretly. In less than a second, a 3D image was projected on the scepter. Yay! Bulma was shocked and furious. It's really good. Yuan Dong was amazed. It's almost off. Can you please stop being so boring? Bulma felt that there was no secret in herself. Turn it off. Yuan Dong ordered to the scepter. Snap. All obediently turned off the projection. You're male and female, Yuan Dong asked the scepter. Scepter. Do I have a gender? Forget it, it seems a bit redundant to calculate these with a stick. Yuan Dong muttered. Hey, Yuan Dong, what the hell was that just now? Is this stick so amazing? Bulma gradually calmed down at this time. It can also scan me. It's so amazing, it's fun. Yuan Dong smiled and said, as long as you can think of it, the stick should be able to help you do it, right, stick? Quote. The stick did not answer. Whatever you say. Actually, I'm not omnipotent. But it's true that you can do most things. Really? So, can you see when those two Saiyans came to Earth? Bulma was stunned and quickly asked. The scepter did not respond. Phew. Yuan Dong waved his hand and threw a small piece of angel power. Snap. A projection emerges from the crystal ball at the top of the scepter. In the projection are the two miniature spaceships that are traveling in the vast universe. Through the window of the miniature spaceship, Bulma saw the two people inside. Is that the two Saiyans? Bulma's eyes widened. It should be. See this pointy-haired guy? His name was Vegeta, and he provoked me and beat me up miserably. Yuan Dong pointed at Vegeta. Bulma, how long do they have before they reach Earth? Yuan Dong asked. Snap. Several numbers appeared on the scepter. 98 days. What? Is there less than 3 months left? Doesn't it say that it will be a year before it comes? Bulma exclaimed, that's 2 months ahead of a year. Quote. Let them come early. Yuan Dong smiled and ordered the scepter again, it's okay for the time being, you rest first. Quote. The scepter seemed relieved. I'll study you well another day. Yuan Dong added another sentence. Scepter. Time passed day by day. Planetary planet. Sun Wukong's hands condensed the vitality bomb. All right, Lord Realm. Sun Wukong greeted. Then, go. The Realm King controlled a stone and made it levitate about 2 meters above the ground. Goku, you have to catch up with the super speed of this stone. Quote. Good. Sun Wukong nodded, already ready. Let's go. The King of the Realm waved his big hand, and the stone quickly circled around the planet. Now into super speed. Divine power emerged in the hands of the Realm King. Suddenly, the stone flew faster. Sun Wukong suddenly waved his hand back. Boom! The Yuan Chi bomb in Sun Wukong's hand directly hit the stone in the sky. The King of the Realm was surprised. It hit so easily. Well done, Goku. The Realm King nodded with satisfaction. I didn't expect you to be so skilled in using the Yuan Chi bomb so quickly. Quote. Hee, this is the result of hard cultivation. Sun Wukong grinned. As I said before, the vitality bomb is the effort to gather all the vitality of the world, such as plants and trees, humans and various animals, as well as the atmosphere, and then release it. The king of the realm explained, such a small planet can make such a powerful vitality bomb. The Earth you are fighting on is many times larger than here, and there is a huge sun as an energy backing. The vitality bomb you make will be extremely powerful. If you don't use it well, it will destroy the Earth you live on, so don't use it as a last resort. Even if you want to use it, it's just a little bit of vitality. Quote. Got it. Sun Wukong nodded and said with some confidence, it's okay, you can defeat them with the Realm King Fist. Quote. The day of the decisive battle is getting closer and closer, and the Saiyans will come to Earth tomorrow. The Realm King smiled. And after saying this, the King of the Realm suddenly thought of something, and his face changed color. Oops, big things are bad, the Realm King exclaimed. What happened, King of the Realm? Sun Wukong hurriedly asked. I didn't count the time you spent passing through the snake path. The King of the Realm wiped his sweat. Huh, can't the Realm King let me return directly to Earth? Do you have to go through the snake path? Sun Wukong was dumbfounded, it took me half a year when I came. Quote. You'll be there in almost 2 days now. I will ask the gods of the earth to come and pick you up. The King of the Realm is also anxious. That will also delay a day, I don't know how many people will be killed. Sun Wukong was speechless. You're too careless, King of the Realm. Stop whining, okay, I occasionally make mistakes, so let your Earth partner revive you with Dragon Balls. The King of the Realm urged. But how do I tell them? Is there a phone? Monkey King asked. Put one of your hands on my back and think of someone, and your voice can be heard. The King of the World. Sun Wukong immediately put his hand on the back of the Realm King. That's right, that's it, let's say it quickly. The King of the World. Grandpa Turtle Immortal, I'm Goku, can you hear my voice? Sun Wukong summons the Turtle Immortal. The Turtle Fairy is sitting in the toilet reading an unhealthy comic book. After hearing Sun Wukong's voice, he was startled. Goku, where are you? The Turtle Immortal asked. It seems that I heard Grandpa, I am in another world. Sun Wukong said with a smile. Another world. The Turtle Immortal wipes his sweat. Grandpa, are the Dragon Balls all together? Monkey King asked. It's all already together, and in order to resurrect you, everyone went to find it separately. The Turtle Immortal replied. Thank you, then please Shenlong resurrect me immediately. Sun Wukong replied, the Saiyans will arrive on Earth tomorrow. Quote. What the Turtle Immortal was stunned, will it come tomorrow? It's 2 months earlier than I expected. Quote. Hurry up, Grandpa, hurry up and revive me, otherwise it will be very troublesome. Monkey King urged. I see. The Turtle Immortal nodded. The Turtle Immortal immediately left the toilet and told Oolong and Pool about the Monkey King to the Oolong and Pool in the room. Hey, Oolong was stunned and scratched his head. I suddenly remembered that Bulma called a while ago and said about the Saiyans. She seems to have said that the Saiyans might come around the 12th. Quote. What? How did she know? The Turtle Immortal was stunned. How did she know? She didn't say, but I thought she was joking, so I didn't tell everyone. Oolong said with a smile. Forget it, Klin, they don't have the habit of bringing mobile phones, and we can't find them. The Turtle Immortal said in a deep voice, quickly summon the Divine Dragon to revive Goku. After the dragon appeared, the sky would turn into night, and Klin and they would know the situation. Quote. The planet of the King of the Realm. It's amazing, King of the Realm. Sun Wukong sighed, the call was successful. Quote. Hee, of course, I'm the greatest god in this universe. The Realm King smiled proudly. Okay, while you are waiting for the resurrection, first change the heavy clothes on your body. Quote. Snap. The 2 tentacles on the head of the Realm King moved slightly. Suddenly, the clothes on Sun Wukong's body were completely new. Sun Wukong also felt his body lighten. So light, so light. Sun Wukong said with some expectation, great, this word on the chest is still a turtle character, and I'm worried that it's like the clothes of the King of the Realm. Quote. King of the Realm. Snap. The King of the Realm went around behind Sun Wukong and replaced the word, turtle, behind him with, King of the Realm. Hee, how beautiful the words behind it. The island of the Turtle Fairy. The Turtle Immortal took Oolong and Pool and successfully summoned the Divine Dragon. Name your wishes, I can grant any one of your wishes. Shenlong's voice sounded. Shenlong, please bring Goku back to life. Turtle Fairy humane. Shenlong. Shenlong was silent. Sorry, but those who have died twice cannot be resurrected. Shenlong replied. The turtle immortal was stunned. Pool also showed a confused face. Oolong patted his head. The three looked at each other. Did Goku die once? When is the thing? Hey, when did Goku die? Oolong asked. I don't know. I haven't heard of it. Pool shook his head. Not except for his brother this time. Haven't you died before? Oolong asked again. Yes, that's what I thought. The turtle immortal nodded, looked up at Shenlong again, and asked, Shenlong, are you mistaken? Quote. It can't be wrong, Shenlong can't lie. Shenlong's voice sounded. Is there no way for Goku to be resurrected? The turtle immortal asked. Yes, someone who has died twice, I can't bring him back to life. Shenlong nodded. Turtle immortal, this is troublesome. Shenlong, when did Goku die? Oolong asked Shenlong. Is this your wish? Shenlong asked. Oolong. No, just ask. Shenlong was speechless. Quickly contact Goku and ask when he died once. Pool turned his head to look at the turtle immortal. The turtle immortals were speechless. Ahem, I don't know how to contact Goku, I can only wait for him to contact me. The turtle immortal wipes his sweat. So what to do? If you don't say any more wishes, the dragon will disappear. Pool hurriedly said. By the way, Shenlong, will you defeat the Saiyans and save the earth? Oolong suddenly thought of something, and hurriedly said to Shenlong. Sorry, this wish cannot be fulfilled, I was made by God. Shenlong replied, I can't defeat anyone who is beyond the power of God. Quote. This can't work, that's not okay, what should I do? Oolong wiped his sweat, if it doesn't work, give me a girlfriend. Quote. Okay, that's a reality. Shenlong nodded. Hey, don't, I'm not asking for this wish, I'm just talking about it. Oolong is anxious. Snap, Shenlong dropped an airplane cup. The next moment, the divine dragon turned into 7 Dragon Balls. 7 Dragon Balls flew high into the air and scattered in all directions. The sky brightened again. Snap, Oolong took the plane cup in his hand. Turtle immortal. Pool, turtle. Oolong was also speechless. Does this count as a girlfriend? Shenlong, you are too pitted. Oolong was furious, picked up the plane cup and wanted to smash it on the ground. It's just that Oolong was reluctant after all, and the raised hand was taken back. You pig, now it's troublesome. The turtle immortal glared. The wish to revive Goku turned out to make you have a girlfriend. You're a real girlfriend. It's okay, I can play too. The question is, are you a girlfriend? How do we explain to Goku? Pool wiped his sweat. We'll have to wait until Goku contacts us. Cold sweat slipped down his face. The 11th universe, the beautiful planet. The god of destruction realm is named after the god of destruction. The destroyer realm of the 11th universe was originally called Planet Dugs. After Dugs was defeated, Mimi successfully ascended to the throne and became the new god of destruction. Therefore, it was renamed the Planet of Mime. By the way, Makarita, the last time you asked that guy from Elephant Paw to talk to me, you didn't believe it when you turned back, what happened? Mime asked. Oh, you don't say, I almost forgot. Makarita patted her head. What do you remember? It tastes so delicious that it wipes its sweat. Makarita laughed dryly. Makarita had spoken to Yuan Dong through the scepter before, and it felt a little strange at that time. What's the situation? That person's location does not seem to be the planet Champa of the 6th universe. Where will it be? Makarita was a little puzzled. And also, Bardos, didn't my father say that? Will you be promised to the son of the Lord of the City of Angels? How can you mess around outside? Nothing will happen, right? Don't worry, I'll go over and take a look. Makarita, what about talking to you? What happened? Mimi asked. Lord Mita, let's go straight over. Makarita replied. That's fine. Michi nodded. Then let's go. Makarita replied. Phew, the bright light and flames around Makarita's body quickly covered herself and her delicious body. The next moment, the two quickly rushed to the sky, disappeared into the void, and soon disappeared. The two sped towards the 6th universe. Planetary planet. Sun Wukong waited left and right, and found that his body had never changed much. It's been 10 minutes, Grandpa should have summoned the dragon out, right? Why haven't I been resurrected yet? Sun Wukong was a little puzzled. Maybe you're busy with something else. The king of the realm guessed. What will you be busy with? Sun Wukong was stunned. Oops, there's something very important I forgot to say. Sun Wukong slapped his head. What's going on? The king of the realm asked. I remember telling the realm king about this before, but the realm king didn't go to his heart. Sun Wukong muttered, before you came to the king of the realm, I was resurrected by Yuan Dong, and then I was killed by him. Closing parenthesis. You say that. I think you did say that. The king of the realm nodded. Who is Yuan Dong? Quote. It doesn't matter anymore. Shenlong is a person who cannot be resurrected and has died twice. Sun Wukong wiped his sweat. Now Grandpa Turtle Immortal may not be able to resurrect me. Quote. What? Is there such a thing? The king of the realm was stunned. Quick, I'm going to talk to Grandpa. Monkey King urged. Quickly put your hand on my back. The king of the realm replied. Sun Wukong immediately put his hand on the back of the realm king and made contact with the turtle immortal. Goku, you've been in touch with me. The turtle immortal wipes his sweat. Grandpa, can't you resurrect me? Sun Wukong said with a dry smile. That's right, Shenlong said that you died once. People who have died twice cannot be resurrected. The turtle immortal replied, strange, when did you die once? Quote. Sure enough, Sun Wukong said with a wry smile, then it's okay Grandpa, I'll think of other ways. Quote. Can you be resurrected? The turtle immortal quickly asked. There will be a way. Sun Wukong replied. After speaking, Sun Wukong immediately terminated the call and silently recited Yuandong's name in his heart. Earth, Universal Capsule Group Headquarters. Yuandong looked up at the sky. Bulma also looked at the sky. The sky suddenly turned black, indicating that the divine dragon appeared. Bulma muttered, so Goku already knows that tomorrow the Saiyans will arrive on Earth. Quote. Didn't you tell the turtle immortals about them? Yuandong glanced at Bulma. Yes, I don't know how their cultivation is doing. Bulma sighed, I hope nothing will happen this time. Goku can defeat those two Saiyans after being resurrected, right? Quote. I'll cheer for him. Yuandong smiled. Bulma. Huh, what is it? Spatial fluctuations. Yuandong frowned and waved his big hand gently. Suddenly, the signal transmitted by the Realm King was directly shattered by the invisible energy in Yuandong's hand. Poof! The Realm King spewed out a mouthful of blood at that time and suddenly knelt on the ground. Lord Realm King, what's wrong with you? Sun Wukong was shocked. Ahem, who were you just in contact with? The Realm King's eyes widened, revealing a look of disbelief. I contacted Yuandong, King of the Realm, why did you vomit blood? Sun Wukong asked strangely. I don't know what's going on, but suddenly I encountered a very huge energy over there, blocking my signal. Not only that, but this huge energy also ate my signal. The King of the Realm had palpitations, it's terrible, I almost died. Quote. How so? Sun Wukong wiped his sweat. Did you just say that you contacted the man named Yuandong? Who is he? The Realm King was shocked. I don't know who he is, I met him a long time ago, he said he wanted to sleep, and he slept for more than 10 years as soon as he slept. Sun Wukong wiped his sweat. This man, it's not simple, the Realm King said with a dry smile, if he protects the earth should be fine. Quote. Monkey King, but, I have to be resurrected. Sun Wukong looked helpless. You mean to say that only Yuandong can resurrect you, right? The King of the Realm asked. Yes, he seems to have slapped the halo on my head into my body, and then I was resurrected. Sun Wukong said quickly. What did you say? The Realm King's eyes widened again. Are you kidding? Can the aura on the head be revived when it is photographed in the body of Nuo Qian Zhao? It's impossible. You are hilarious. That's how I was resurrected. Sun Wukong hurriedly said, it's really nerve-wracking, I don't know how he did it. Quote. Then why did you die again? Is he your enemy? The Realm King asked. I said that only dead people can come to the Realm King. So he punched me to death. Sun Wukong smiled bitterly. King of the Realm. Ahem, but to be honest, living people can come to me too. The King of the Realm wiped his sweat. Monkey King. As that, if I had come here in a resurrected state, maybe you'll starve to death halfway. Sun Wukong said, I ran on the Snake Road for half a year. Quote. That's true, too. The Realm King nodded, and suddenly came to his senses. Now is not the time to chat. You talk about what to do next. The Saiyans will come tomorrow. Do you just give up the resurrection like this? Quote. Well, trouble the king of the realm to find the heavenly god, tell him about the matter here, and let him help contact Yuandong. Sun Wukong thought about it, and could only think of such a way. That's okay. The king of the realm nodded. Immediately afterwards, the king of the realm immediately got in touch with the god of the earth and told the heavenly god about the matter here. Tenjin. The gods were silent for a while. And this kind of thing. Okay, I know, I will convey this matter to Yuandong as soon as possible, and then take him to you. The god wiped his sweat and sighed again, but the problem is that the snake road is so long. Does Yuandong have the ability to go to your planet? Or even if you can go, it will be half a year or even a year later, right? When the time really came, everything was dead. Quote. This is also. Sun Wukong wanted to cry. Anyway, I'll ask Yuandong first. The god looked helpless. A certain mountainous area. What just happened? Why did it suddenly turn dark in broad daylight? Sun Gohan looked up at the sky and muttered in a low voice. Dunzi also glanced up at the sky, but did not take it seriously. When it turns black, it becomes black. It doesn't matter if the planet is destroyed. Well, after 10 months of cultivation, I feel that my extreme intention gong has achieved a lot. I'll be able to go back in a few days. I'll say goodbye to the next time the master comes. Snap. At this moment, Vic sped in from a distance and landed beside Sun Gohan. Uncle Vic, you okay? Sun Gohan hurriedly asked. Vic was originally quite good, but when Sun Gohan asked like this, he felt that the whole person was not good. What do you call me? I would have been fine. Vic snorted. If nothing else, it should be the Shenlong appeared. Vic turned to Sun Gohan and said, in other words, your father should be resurrected. Quote. Huh, is my dad resurrected? That's great. Sun Gohan was excited for a while. Or to put me another way, the Saiyans should arrive sooner than we think, maybe tomorrow. Vic said quietly. Okay, I see, Uncle Bike. Sun Gohan nodded solemnly. Are you ready for battle? Gohan. Vic said. Yes, all come on, Uncle Bike. Sun Gohan nodded again. Dunzi glanced at Bic and Sun Gohan. Saiyan, I remember that we also had Saiyans in the 6th universe. Are Saiyans coming to Earth? What did the Saiyans come to Earth for? It seems to be coming to find this little doubting their trouble. I remember that the Saiyans of our universe were still relatively kind-hearted. Could it be that the Saiyans on this side of the 7th universe are different from ours? It's possible. Well, I did sense that in the distant starry sky, 2 strands of energy were speeding towards the Earth. It is estimated that it will arrive on Earth tomorrow. So, you can eat melons tomorrow. Practicing all day is quite boring. It's finally time to relax. Temple. The god hesitated, and immediately flew down, flying towards the headquarters of the Universal Capsule Group. It didn't take long for Tenjin to appear in the courtyard of the headquarters of the Universal Capsule Group. The sudden visit of the god startled Bulma. Bulma subconsciously thought that this guy was the great demon king of Bike. However, Bulma soon recognized the gods. Are you a god? Bulma breathed a sigh of relief. Tenjin, you just recognize it. We have seen it at the world's first martial arts conference. It startled me. I thought that Vic, who was killed by Goku before, has been resurrected. You two look too alike. Bulma said. What about Yuandong, Miss BCCJ? Tenjin asked. You came to find Yuandong. When did you meet Yuandong? Bulma was stunned. It's not important, is he home? Tenjin asked. Isn't this the god of the earth? How did you have time to come to me? Yuandong came over from a distance and greeted the heavenly god with a smile. Here's the thing, the god told Yuandong about what happened to Sun Wukong, and said with a wry smile, the Saiyans will arrive on Earth tomorrow, can you go to the Realm King and find a way to resurrect Goku? Quote. Resurrection. Yuandong was slightly startled, can't the divine dragon resurrect people who have died twice? Quote. Ahem, yes. Tenjin wiped his sweat. Bulma froze on the sidelines. The god of the earth let Yuandong resurrect Sun Wukong. Did I hear you wrong? What are you kidding? Also, how to listen to what they mean, before Yuandong resurrected Goku, and then punched Goku to death. The reason for the killing was Goku can only go to the Realm King to cultivate as a deceased. Let me brush it off. Bulma felt a mess in her head. Heavenly God, the level of the divine dragon you created is not very good. Yuan Dong said with a smile. It made you laugh, the god laughed dryly. Okay, little things. Yuan Dong smiled, and after saying this, he suddenly thought of something, and immediately picked up the scepter in his hand. Scepter. I've heard Elephant Pa say that there are so many things you can do, like resurrect people or something. Yuan Dong said to the scepter. Tenjin was stunned. How are you talking to a stick? What surprised the gods even more was still to come. I saw that the stick suddenly shook slightly, as if nodding. The god was stunned and couldn't help but smile. You yourself let the stick shake, do you think I can't see it? So, you go to resurrect Goku, is there a problem? Yuan Dong asked. Rocking the stick from side to side indicates that it is fine. This is a great opportunity. Just get out of your control. I can take the opportunity to return to Bardos. I can't wait to leave. Hey, you won't take the opportunity to return to the 6th universe, will you? Yuan Dong asked with a smile. The scepter was taken aback and hurriedly denied it. Before I let you go back, you'd better stop. Do you think if you return to Bardos, I can't help you? Yuan Dong looked at the scepter with a smile. Scepter. The scepter felt that there was nothing wrong with what Yuan Dong said. Because the scepter obviously felt, the angelic power that Yuan Dong provided to him was more refined. And it was still the angelic power he threw out casually. Simply compared to the strength of the angel's power, the scepter felt. Bardos is not necessarily Yuan Dong's opponent. If I really go back, I will be caught by him and beaten up. No, don't run this time. When he has no novelty for me, I will go back. The scepter shook his body vigorously, indicating that he would never run away. Then, you go and resurrect Sun Wukong, and after resurrecting him, you will come back. Yuan Dong ordered into the scepter. Is Yuan Dong talking to this stick? Tenjin asked Bulma. Yes, been talking to this stick these days. I feel like this stick has become fine. Bulma nodded. And this kind of thing. Tenjin wipes his sweat. You don't need me to say, you also know where Sun Wukong is, right? Don't you know everything? Yuan Dong ordered. Go early and return early. Quote. Snap. The next moment, the scepter flew into the sky. Phew. The scepter disappeared directly into the void, and disappeared in a flash. The gods were stunned on the sidelines. What's going on? The scepter was originally intended to go with the gods. It's just that the scepter thought about it carefully and felt that there was no need for this lower god to act with him. I'll just go on my own. It was a waste of time to take this low god. Then give it to the stick, and you can go back, god of the earth. Yuan Dong waved at the heavenly god. Tenjin, really fake, let that stick go to resurrect the Monkey King. Why don't I believe it? But now, even if the gods don't believe it, there is nothing they can do. Then I'll go back, the Saiyans will arrive on Earth tomorrow, you all be careful. The god instructed. They should be careful. Yuan Dong smiled slightly. The god didn't want to speak, and slowly flew into the sky. Hey, wait a minute, you come down first, I forgot to tell you something. Yuan Dong beckoned to this heavenly god. Tenjin, do you call a dog? The gods had to fall. What's going on? Yuan Dong, you say? Tenjin asked. I am now invincible. It is said that there is no one in the entire universe who is my opponent, even if it is a god, I will easily defeat him. Yuan Dong muttered. Tenjin wipes his sweat. You really dare to say it? You say you're invincible. Of course, that's not the point. Yuan Dong smiled. So, what's the point? Tenjin was stunned for a moment and asked. You are all invincible, do you still say that this is not the point? I want to get myself a title, what do you think is the right name? Yuan Dong looked at the god and asked. Title. The god was stunned again. Bulma, think about it too. Yuan Dong turned his head to look at Bulma again. Title. Bulma was also stunned. It's like the great priest, the king, the god of destruction, or something. Yuan Dong explained, but these 3 titles have already been used, and they don't feel domineering, I mean I want a more domineering title. Quote. Bulma, Tenjin. The 2 laughed awkwardly and wiped their sweat. I want a domineering title. Oh great priest, he just said, oh all kings. It really doesn't seem domineering enough. God of destruction. It seems quite domineering, but it feels so. Tenjin and Bulma looked at each other. If not, just fulfill him, just give him one. Actually, I feel the most domineering is not emperor like in ancient times, Bulma mused. Yes, Miss Bulma is right. Tenjin nodded gently. How about calling the great emperor? For example, the emperor of the universe. Quote. Cosmic emperor. Bulma was stunned and muttered, I seem to have heard this name somewhere. Quote. Someone called. Yuan Dong was slightly startled. The title of universe emperor seems to be good. I seem to have heard of it, but I forgot. I searched for it, Bulma said, took out the tablet, and searched for the 4 words cosmic emperor on it. Soon, a robot was found on the tablet. A huge robot. Ahem, I'll just say it's a little familiar, and sure enough, this is a character from the Transformers cartoon. Bulma grinned and introduced. Look, it says on it, the Emperor of the Universe is the villain of Transformers, a creation god-level existence that transcends time and space and transcends dimensions, is the most powerful and vicious enemy in the Transformers series, represents darkness, chaos and destruction, is the Lord of Chaos, the embodiment of destruction, is the old enemy of the creator of Transformers, and is the greatest threat to all worlds and all eras. Quote. Yuan Dong didn't look at the Transformer, picked up Bulma's tablet, and simply scanned it. Yuan Dong. Yuan Dong was speechless at that time. You asked me to give a robot the same name. Hey, Yuan Dong, I think it's quite appropriate, the name Universe Emperor really suits you. Bull, Mar said with a smile. Yuan Dong's face turned dark. So, can't you call it a Cosmic Emperor? Tenjin proposed. Ha, that's a good title. Bulma clapped her hands. Emperor, this is a symbol of power, it should be much more majestic than the Great Priest or the whole king you said, right? Quote. Yuan Dong thought about it carefully, and it seemed to be good. In my time, the emperor was indeed a supreme being. Of course, above the emperor, there are also holy kings and holy venerables or something. But the use of holy kings and holy venerable beings in this world seems to be very incongruous. The emperor is also good. Okay, that's it. Yuan Dong nodded. In the future, I will be the universe emperor. Quote. Meet the emperor. Bulma smiled and bowed. Tenjin. I am a god of the earth, and I follow the 2 of them to fool around. I'm going to the fuss. I'd better hurry back. Ahem, if that's the case, then I'll leave first. After Tenjin finished speaking, he took off into the air. Underworld. Snake Road entrance. The 2 imps looked at the endless Snake Road and were making small talk. This is the snake path leading to the Lord of the Realm. Yes, it is said that in this 100 million years, only Lord Yan Luo has been to Lord King of the Realm alone. The Snake Road is 1 million kilometers, right? That's long enough. Quote. By the way, I heard that a man named Sun Wukong was going to Lord Realm King a while ago, and it has been more than 10 months, and I don't know if he has successfully reached the end. Ha ha ha, maybe if you fall from the clouds, then you will go to hell. Phew, the 2 imps were talking, and the scepter also flew from the middle of the 2. The scepter increases the speed to the extreme. The 2 imps rubbed their eyes vigorously. What flew past just now? How I feel like a stick. I look like, has the stick become fine? Quote. The 2 imps were stunned for a while. The planet of the King of the Realm. Sun Wukong was anxious to circle above. You don't have to be in such a hurry. The gods of the earth should have a way. The Realm King comforted. That being said, the King of the Realm was not very optimistic about this matter. I'm afraid that when that Yuan Dong comes, the Saiyans have already swept the earth away. You have to calm down your mind. Although you are dead, you can stay young forever. This world is actually not much different from your world, the only difference is your world can die once and not disappear, and once you die in this world, you will disappear completely. The King of the Realm advised. If I die again in this world, will I disappear? Sun Wukong was stunned. Yes, because now you are equivalent to a soul-like existence. The Realm King nodded. Once the soul disappears, you will also disappear with it. That is to say, you will be completely destroyed from this world. Quote. Well, but that's not the point now. Sun Wukong wiped his sweat. There are still my relatives and companions on Earth. Phew, Sun Wukong and the King of Realm were talking. I saw the scepter coming quickly from a distance. Ah, the scepter appeared at Sun Wukong's side at an extremely fast speed. What is it? Sun Wukong was stunned. This seems to be. The Realm King scratched his head. How do I feel that this thing is a little familiar? It seems to have been seen somewhere. Snap. There was no unnecessary nonsense on the scepter, and a brilliant light like a star flashed on the crystal ball at the top, directly covering Sun Wukong's body. Suddenly, the golden aura on Sun Wukong's head disappeared all of a sudden. The Monkey King is resurrected. Hey, Sun Wukong was stunned. Am I resurrected? Hey, are you Yuandong? Sun Wukong then looked at the scepter and asked. Scepter. The scepter does not carry the Monkey King. Don't mention that name to me. I was stunned when I heard the name. Now you are resurrected. My task is also accomplished. I'd better hurry back. I think if I go back to the night. If you don't get that good, the goods will beat me again. It's so hard to make sticks now. Phew. After resurrecting Sun Wukong, the scepter turned into a stream of light at that time, quickly left the planet of the Realm King, and disappeared in a flash. Sun Wukong was confused. The king of the realm was also completely dumbfounded. It took the two of them a long time to come to their senses. Hey, Lord Realm, am I resurrected? Sun Wukong asked with some uncertainty. Resurrected, no problem, the Realm King wiped his sweat. Forget it, I can't manage so much, I think I should be able to go back. Sun Wukong gritted his teeth, they're still waiting for me. Well, although I don't know how you were resurrected, the Realm King said with a dry smile, but you must be careful, your opponent is stronger than you think. Quote. Well, I understand. Sun Wukong nodded, thank you for your guidance, if I die, I will come back again. Quote. Go ahead. The king of the realm waved his hand. I'm leaving. Sun Wukong flew into the sky and landed on the snake road in the distance. What a guy with potential, and his heart is as clear as crystal. The Realm King sighed, I really didn't expect such a human being. Only, what is the origin of that stick just now? This brings Goku back to life. Quote. Temple. Is it Lord Kaiwang? Tenjin was shocked for a while. After learning about the question of the king of the realm. What? Goku resurrected? Is it really resurrected? The heavenly god was stunned when he heard the news of the Realm King. What's the situation? That stick brought Goku back to life. What exactly is the origin of that stick? God of the earth, what the hell is going on? The king of the realm asked. Tenjin, I still want to know what's going on. Forget it, as long as Goku is resurrected, I will come and pick him up as soon as he returns. Tenjin replied. King of the realm, tell me, what's going on? The gods of this earth are not good. The next day, near noon, 2 spherical spaceships fell from the stars. Boom. The spacecraft smashed directly into a road in the eastern capital and left 2 huge craters on the ground. There were many cars at the scene that were directly smashed and turned over several times. For a while, the nearby area was a mess, and smoke and dust were everywhere. Many people were stunned after seeing such an amazing scene. What fell from the sky? Many people who were still confused looked towards the vicinity of the crater one by one. Inside the crater are 2 spherical spacecraft. The spaceship door opened and Vegeta walked out of it. It's human. Someone came out of it. Quote. There's also someone out there. Who are they? Is it aliens? Quote. Snap. Vegeta and Naba flew out of the crater and landed on the road. The two looked around. Is this the Earth? This planet doesn't look very good. It seems that there is really no usable value. No wonder that Frieza guy can't look at it here. Vegeta smiled. Let me say hello to them. Naba grinned. After sleeping for nearly a year, I feel that my body is about to rust, and I feel sorry for myself if I don't release some energy. Quote. Boom. There was a big explosion at the scene. The eastern capital turned into a mass of ruins on the spot and disappeared from the planet. Ha ha ha, my greeting seems to be too warm. That Bahaha laughed. You idiot, you destroyed this planet too much, you can't sell it for a high price. Vegeta said angrily. Didn't you say that this planet is worthless? Frieza doesn't look at this place at all. Naba was stunned. Although I can't see it, I can sell it somewhat. Vegeta snorted, you've destroyed the planet too much now, but it's really worthless. Quote. Sorry. Naba wiped his sweat. Forget it, let's go find the Dragon Ball first. Vegeta glared at Naba, also, in case the Dragon Ball was destroyed by you just now near here. Our wishes were frustrated. Quote, I'm sorry. I forgot about it. I'm really sorry. Naba apologized again. First of all, we must find the person with the strongest fighting power. He should be the murderer of Raditz, maybe Kakarot's son. Vegeta pressed the detector button he was wearing on his eye. Naba also detects the combat power of humans on this planet through detectors. After some probing, Naba was a little surprised. Vegeta, it's really strange, there are more than 1 or 2 reactions with combat effectiveness exceeding 1000, how can this be? Naba asked. No need to fuss, they are not our opponents at all. Vegeta smiled, the reason why their combat effectiveness will also improve may also be that they have cultivated during this time. This is also, Naba nodded, found it, in that position, there is a strong combat power reaction, let's go over and play. Vegeta smiled. Yes, Naba replied. The two sped in the direction where Vic was. Hehe, the gravity of this planet is so small, we can fly really easily. Naba said with a smile. Vegeta also smiled slightly. That guy named Yuandong. Don't think I've forgotten you. When I find it, I will fix you properly. I must avenge that slap back then. The arrival of Vegeta and Naba made Klin and other warriors immediately sense their presence. The expressions of Klin and the others also became solemn. Here it comes. They intend to come here. Vic said to Son Gohan. Son Gohan nodded. Dunzi stretched out a lazy waist, and his eyes were full of expectation. Finally you can eat melons. That's a lot more interesting. Universal Capsules Company headquarters. Bulma is watching TV in front of the TV. A piece of news is also being broadcast on television. The cause of this big earthquake is not clear. The earthquake occurred in the eastern capital, and now the communication has been interrupted. I don't know what the situation is at the scene. The host said. Here they are. It was the Saiyans who came. Bulma exclaimed. Immediately afterwards, Bulma turned her head to look at Yuandong. Yuandong, it's a Saiyan. Bulma Dao. Well, didn't you expect them to come today? So there's nothing to be surprised about. Yuandong smiled slightly. Bulma was speechless. You're so right, I don't even know how to take it. Bulma thought for a while, immediately put on the detector, and said to Yuandong, do we want to go over to support? Quote. It's time to test Gohan's practice during this time. Yuandong said with a smile. What do you mean? Bulma was stunned. Didn't I promise Goku before? I'm going to teach him to learn Jiigong, but Goku has decided to let Gohan learn. Yuandong smiled and said, so, one day I already taught Gohan Jiigong. Quote. That, is it awesome? Bulma was slightly startled. It can be said that if Son Gohan is not the opponent of those two Saiyans, then the deal between me and Sun Wukong is over, and I will not teach them to learn the extreme skill again. Yuandong smiled. So, shall we go to the scene and take a look? Bulma asked. Yuandong immediately looked at the scepter. Scepter. The scepter has now become very sensible, and Yuandong is just a look, and it can understand what Yuandong wants to do. Snap. I saw a flame of light suddenly appear from the crystal ball on the scepter. In the blink of an eye, a 3D image was projected from the top of the scepter. The image in the 3D image is an area centered on Son Gohan. Bulma. That's right, we still have sticks. This stick is really obedient now. That was Gohan. In a year, I feel like he's grown up. Bulma looked at Son Gohan in the projection and commented slightly, in addition to Gohan, there is Vic. Hey, and a cat there. Is that cat the little wild cat that Gohan caught? Quote. That's my cat, his name is Dunzi. Yuandong rolled his eyes. Dunzi, you call this cat Dunzi? Bulma laughed at that time, looked at the kitten carefully, and smiled forwards and backwards. Don't say, the name you gave is really joyful, he really looks like a mound. Quote. Bulma, you should never laugh at some little animal you don't know. Yuandong sighed. Hey, why do you say that? Bulma was stunned. It is possible that he is the greatest god of some universe. Yuandong Dao. Bulma, ahem, you tell me that he is the greatest god of some universe. After a brief pause, Bulma was happy. If he is God, what do you say I am? Am I a goddess? Quote. Well, you're my woman, you can laugh at him. Yuandong replied. What mess, I don't understand what you're saying. Bulma shook her head and looked at the picture carefully. Look, they seem to be coming. Quote. It's not a Saiyan, it's that little bald head without a nose. Yuan Dong Dao. Bulma fixed her eyes on it, and sure enough, she found that it was Klin. Klin descended from the sky and landed beside Son Gohan and Bike. Hi, long time no see, Vic. Klin smiled. So it's you, what are you doing? Vic chuckled. It's going to be nearly a year, but I've practiced well, of course I'm here to fight. Klin said with a smile. Is it? So there are other idiots who will come here to help, right? Vic smiled. Yes, but they are not idiots. Klin corrected. Vic. I remembered. Are you Uncle Klin from the Turtle Immortals? Son Gohan asked. Yes, I'm Klin, you look really strong, exactly like Goku when he was a child. Klin nodded. Well, Dad often talks about you, saying that although you are small, you are very powerful. Son Gohan asked excitedly. HMPH, it's really not like saying I'm small, how tall he thinks he is. Klin looked unhappy. As he spoke, Klin glanced at a kitten beside Son Gohan. A small fat cat. Is this a cat? Klin was stunned. Mound was also looking at Klin intently. After seeing Klin's appearance, Mound was happy. This product has no nose. He's too funny, right? Meow meow. Dunzi pointed to his nose, grinning happily. Klin, whose wild cat is this? Is there any courtesy? Klin's face darkened. Uncle Klin, don't be angry, he's like that. Sun Wuhan hurriedly said, by the way, he is Uncle Yuandong's cat, but he is powerful. Quote. Yuandong, that Bulma's boyfriend. Klin was stunned. Oh, Son Gohan was half aware. Dunzi also raised his head and glanced at Klin. Who is Bulma? Could it be my other hostess? Be sure to meet her when you have the chance. Uncle Klin, can we fight together? Son Gohan said excitedly. Of course, no problem. Klin smiled, lowered his voice and whispered to Son Gohan, but then again, you must have suffered a lot by cultivating with someone like Bike. Quote. Yes, Uncle Vic did suffer a lot. Son Gohan nodded vigorously. Vic. Klin looked confused. How many meanings? But Uncle Vic is a good guy and treats me well. Son Gohan whispered. Vic was originally a Shunfeng-er, and after hearing the words of the two, his face became a little unpleasant. The next moment, Vic looked up into the air. Stop talking, they're already here. Vic said quietly. Son Gohan and Klin looked up. Sure enough, two people were already suspended high in the air. They were dressed very similar to Raditz's clothes before. They also have a furry tail wrapped around their waist. What shocked Klin the most was their breath. The aura of these two people was extremely powerful, and there was a very frightening feeling just by sensing it. Dunzi looked at each other with excitement. Interesting. The breath on these two Saiyans is quite evil. Sure enough, it is different from the Saiyans in our universe. 3 people in total. Strangely, only the information of 2 people is displayed on the detector, and one of them is completely ineffective. Naba looked condescendingly at the 3 of Son Gohan below. It's that little ghost, Kakarot's son. Vegeta nodded. When Raditz met him before, there was no hint of his combat effectiveness. Quote. Can this little devil control combat effectiveness at will, and even reduce combat effectiveness to 0? Naba was a little surprised. HMPH, it seems that they have already prepared. Vegeta said with a smile. Do they think they're having a family? I also brought a pet cat over. That Bahaha laughed. Let's go down. Vegeta greeted. The 2 fell from the sky and landed opposite Dunzi and the others. You guys can't wait, Vegeta said with a smile. That's exactly what we knew you would be here today. Vic smiled. It's that voice. That's right. Vegeta smiled on his face. You killed Raditz, right? Quote. Sound. Vic was stunned. Didn't Raditz tell you? Vegeta pointed to the detector he was wearing on his eye. This thing can also be used as a communicator. Vegeta, this guy seems to be a nemesis. Naba turned to look at Vegeta. It could be. No wonder Raditz was defeated by him. Vegeta nodded. I have long heard that the nemesis has incredible magic in addition to excellent combat power. I've also heard that some nemesis use magic. By the way, you made the Dragon Balls, right? Quote. Bike, so you're from Nemesis. Klin was also stunned and turned to look at Bike. Uncle Bike, really? No wonder you can regenerate. No wonder you're so green. Son Gohan suddenly realized. Vic, you shut up for me. Vic huffed. Ah, They even know about Dragon Ball. Klin was stunned for a moment. Finding the Dragon Balls is the main purpose of our coming to Earth, so hurry up and give us the Dragon Balls. Naba smiled and said, the Namex is nothing, it's just a fly to us. Quote. Hey, thank you, I finally figured out my background. Vic smiled and said, unfortunately, the Dragon Balls were not made by me, I can only fight, whether it is a fly or not, just try it. Quote. Snap, Vic said, also immediately ready for battle. It turns out that Vic is a nemesis. Bulma sighed, no wonder she looks different from us. Quote. That Meiji, haven't heard of it. Yuan Dong shook his head, it seems that there are still many things I need to know. Quote. Tell us the whereabouts of the Dragon Ball, and kill you all if we don't say anything. Vegeta threatened. Combat power 981, 1220, there is also a 0, and a cat, just with the combat power of a few of you, do you still want to compete with us? Naba smiled contemptuously. Meow, the mound cat barked. Vegeta, Naba, Vic, Klin, several people looked at the pair together. Hee, this cat is full of fighting intent. Vegeta smiled. Mound rolled his eyes. Fight it, why is there no war yet? Naba, take the detector off. Vegeta ignored the kitten. Why? Naba was stunned. The combat effectiveness of these guys will change with the change of battle, and the numbers above are unreliable, which will completely affect our judgment. Vegeta said, directly removing the detector he was wearing on his eyes and throwing it on the ground. You're right, Naba nodded, that idiot weak chicken Raditz just believed the numbers on the detector and was paralyzed and defeated. Quote. Weak chicken Raditz. Vic was stunned. Raditz was defeated by you and Goku with great difficulty. Of course, there is also an element of sneak attack in it. They actually said he was a weak chicken. Klin wiped his sweat. Are these two so powerful? Well, let them see how good we are, otherwise they won't tell the whereabouts of the Dragon Ball. Vegeta smiled and said, hey, Naba, the vegetable man still has 6 seeds, hurry up and plant them. Quote. Vegeta, do you want to make games? Naba was also slightly startled, and then he took out a small bottle from his pocket and picked it up and looked at it. Sure enough, there are 6 more. Quote. What is that? Klin was stunned. Yes, the soil here is very suitable for vegetable growers. Naba poked a finger in the ground, leaving 6 holes in the ground and putting the 6 seeds in each of them. Naba buried the hole with earth and stepped on it with his feet. What is this guy doing? Klin was stunned. Duh. The next moment, a scene that surprised Son Gohan and the others happened. I saw 6 people suddenly burst out of the ground. 6 vegetable people. The head looks like a kohlrabi. Dunzi glanced up at the 6 of them. This technique, our universe also has it. This kind of person is too weak. I remember planting a few of them before, cleaning my castle. Later, I thought they were doing too much of an eyesore, so I destroyed them all. There are also such guys in the 7th universe. Sure enough, it is basically the same as our universe. It's disgusting, Klin exclaimed. Dunzi. You don't have a long nose, and you're embarrassed to say that others are disgusting. You're really interesting. Your target is those 3 people, teach them a hard lesson. Vegeta ordered to the vegetable. Son Gohan clenched his fists and wanted to rush over and wipe out all of them. Dunzi grabbed Son Gohan's pant leg with one paw. Son Gohan was slightly startled and glanced down at Dunzi. Mound shook his head slightly. Do you mean to say that they are powerful? I'm not even my opponent. Son Gohan's eyes widened. Dunzi, what are you talking about? Can't you little doubting sense the weakness of their strength? If you go up and beat them to death 3 times and 2 times, how else will I eat melons? Mound glared. I see, are you saying that they are too weak? Son Gohan smiled and scratched his head. Mound nodded. It's because it's weak that you have to hurry up and destroy them. Son Gohan had a good eloquence. Mound rolled his eyes again. Anyway, Dunzi has already decided that if Son Gohan catches up, he will stun Sun Wuhan. I'm still waiting to see the play. Dunzi suddenly sensed something and looked up at the sky. I saw 3 people appear in the sky. The 3 descended from the sky and landed beside Son Gohan, Vic and the others. None of these 3 people knew each other. There is no need to know. We're here, sorry. Leping greeted. Leping, Klin cheered. Tianjin rice and dumplings did not speak, and their expressions became more solemn. Ha ha ha, there are also a lot of people over there. Vegeta's smile emerged. It's just a nobody. Naba smiled. Didn't you say there were 2 Saiyans? Tianjin Fan asked. The other 6 are not, they are their puppets. Klin replied. Yes, the number of 6 people over there and my vegetable people is exactly the same. Vegeta laughed and suddenly became interested. How? You guys take turns fighting my vegetablemen one by one, and it's a life and death battle, which seems interesting, let's make a fun game. Quote. Dunzi's eyes lit up at that time. Meow. The peer let out a cat bark. Everyone immediately looked at the mound. I saw that after the cat barked, he patted his front paws vigorously. Everyone present was relatively speechless. Oh, the cat seemed very interested, and he actually understood. Vegeta smiled. As for this spiritual cat, Vegeta has been fighting in the universe for so many years, and he has seen many creatures, but there is nothing to be surprised about. What game, you fools, you don't have to go around in circles, hurry up and give me the real thing. Vic shouted angrily. Wouldn't it be better if you don't get angry first? Anyway, we can just wait for Goku to come over. Klin quickly whispered. Ahem, where does this cat come from? Leping wiped his sweat on the side. This cat is also too speechless. You actually ran here to see the excitement. Okay, then I'll go first, I'll give you a good look. Tianjin Fan didn't care, put his fists together, and stepped forward, already ready to fight. Ha ha ha, if this 3-eyed man knew how powerful the vegetable man was, he would be scared to pee. Naba smiled contemptuously. Vegeta didn't say anything. It seems that things are not as simple as I thought. This 3-eyed man feels strong. Also, I have to find a way to find Yuandong. This guy is not with them. But it doesn't matter, after a while the game is finished, just find someone to ask properly. It's really impossible to destroy this planet when you leave it. Of course, this is only after I get my wish granted. Vegeta thought about his thoughts, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly, evoking a shallow arc. Start with this guy, give me a good fight. Vegeta pointed to the first vegetable man and commanded him. Son Gohan looked at Dunzi. Dunzi glanced at Son Gohan obliquely and wrote 2 words on the ground with his cat's paw. No rush, Son Gohan. Son Gohan was stunned at that time. I only know that you are very spiritual, but I didn't expect you to be able to write. What's the situation? Vic saw it too, and his eyes widened at that time. This cat can write. After Dunzi finished writing, he wiped it off with another paw. Klin and the others' attention was focused on Tianjin Rice, so they did not see the words written by Dunzi. Vic was a little surprised. What exactly is the origin of this cat? Is it the illegitimate son of that Garen immortal? How else could it be so spiritual? And also can write. If you practice and cultivate again, will you be able to become a human? Mound grinned, revealing a mouthful of white teeth. The peer suddenly felt so interesting. Pretending to be forced in front of this group of weak chickens, I suddenly felt a sense of accomplishment. You idiots, look at me like a normal cat. In a moment, we'll show you my true strength. No, I'm going to show my true strength, and this galaxy will disappear immediately. I'd better keep a low profile. That cat just wrote, Yuandong, did you see it? Bulma also saw through the projection. See, what's the fuss? Yuandong replied. Bulma thought about it. There really doesn't seem to be much fuss about. Doesn't Leping also have a cat? The cat can still talk. Moreover, isn't there still a Garen immortal on the Garen Tower? I heard that the guy is also a cat. Still a fairy cat. So this cat can write. Actually, it's not a big deal. After thinking about this, Bulma no longer struggled with these things. I figured it out so quickly, it doesn't feel like you. Yuandong was slightly stunned. You forgot, doesn't Leping have a kitten named Pool? Because he usually talks, for a long time, I didn't treat him as a cat. Bulma smiled and said, it's like this little pig of Oolong, after a long time, have you treated him as a pig? Quote. Yes, in fact, you don't say that I forgot, I always wanted to roast him and eat it. Yuandong muttered. Bulma, you seem to have the following, go on. Yuandong Dao. Bulma didn't want to talk. I'll say a good word, I'm not in the mood to let you beat me up. By the way, you haven't been to Garinta, have you? Bulma asked. Garinta, what for? Yuandong asked. There is a Garen immortal on the Garen Tower. He is a fairy cat, second only to the god of the earth. Bulma explains, so this cat can write, and compared to these two cats, I think it's really nothing. Quote. Yuandong nodded. You're still fairy cats. My cat claims to be the greatest god in their universe. God second only to angels. The status is slightly higher than that of the realm king god. Can Tianjin Rice beat that vegetable man? Bulma asked, and pressed the detector worn on her eyes. At present, from the combat effectiveness data, the combat effectiveness of the two is similar, both around 1000. Quote. Bulma was talking, and the battle had already begun over there. There was no extra nonsense on both sides, and they launched a violent assault on each other. Hey, Tianjin Rice slapped over with a palm and directly slapped the vegetable man backwards. The vegetable man quickly adjusted his figure in the air and landed firmly on the ground. Tianjin Rice traced forward. Snap. The vegetable man's head split from the middle, spewing out a cloud of white liquid. Tianjin Fan hurriedly dodged. Phew. After the white liquid touched the earth was corroded out of a pit, which startled Klin and the others. Hey, Tianjin Rice sped up, and a heavy elbow hit the vegetable man in the face. The vegetable man's face was distorted and deformed, and under a few heels, he fell to the ground, and it looked like he was no longer working. Naba was taken aback and looked over in disbelief. It's worthy of Tianjin Rice. Klin said excitedly. Great, Brother Tien. Dumplings are also happy for Tianjin Rice. Snap. Mound clapped his paws the side. Klin. Dumplings. Lepping. You cat really can find a place to watch a play. Dunzi felt that he hadn't watched a play for a long time. Although the battle just now looked like ants were fighting. But ants that can fight are still very interesting. HMPH, it's about what I expected, it's getting more and more interesting. Vegeta's smile emerged. Oh, the vegetable man who fell to the ground struggled to get up. Tianjin Fan looked at him so calmly. It's the same a few more times. You are not my opponent at all. The cultivator's combat power is 1200, and his energy intensity is even comparable to Raditz. Naba Tooth. Maybe his combat effectiveness has surpassed Raditz. Vegeta smiled. How is that possible? Naba didn't believe it. The vegetable man who fell to the ground finally struggled to stand up, his face full of anger. Tianjin Fan had already turned around and didn't want to fight with this guy. Because you have already won. Brother Tien, that guy is standing up again. Dumpling exclaimed. Vegeta pointed at the vegetable man with his hand. Snap. Suddenly, the vegetable man was torn apart and died on the spot. Tianjin Fan and the others were frightened and stupid one by one. Those vegetable people were also startled and almost became incontinent. How can this guy Vegeta even kill people on our side? Vegeta, what are you doing? Naba was stunned and quickly asked. It's just a waste of time, he's wasted. Vegeta chuckled. That vegetable man underestimated the enemy from the beginning, and I said I would fight with all my might. Quote. Meow. Mound patted his paws happily. The guy named Vegeta is quite interesting. If it were a little stronger, it would suit my taste. Maybe it can raise you to be a god of destruction. Well, I don't know what kind of attitude the owner has. Wait until you have time to ask. But I'm not thinking about retiring yet. But it doesn't prevent me from cultivating the god of destruction. Wrong. This is the universe of pulls. Do I have to find the right person from my universe? But our universe doesn't. It's terrible. Why don't we have characters like Vegeta in our universe? Of course, I'll have to observe again. Ah, what a fierce guy. Single quote. Klin frightened. Who's next? Vegeta smiled softly and greeted the person opposite. Okay, let me. Klin stepped forward. Let me do it anyway. Lepping smiled. Lepping, let me go. Klin replied. Klin, you have been saved by the Dragon Ball once, in case of misfortune, you cannot be resurrected. Lepping smiled and said, I'll do it anyway. Quote. Is that appropriate? Klin was a little embarrassed. Mound stepped forward and grabbed Klin's pant leg. Klin looked down at the Mound. Mound shook his head at Klin, meaning to keep him off the field for a while. I feel that this battle should be very interesting. I think it could be dead. The undead still fart ah. It's interesting to die one on one side. Fortunately, there are no women in it. The owner should not care if these people live or die. So I can eat melon with confidence. Okay, come on. Leping was already in a fighting stance. It's quite exciting. Vegeta smiled. Vegetable man, don't disgrace us this time. Naba drank. The vegetable man walked forward with a solemn expression. The two quickly engaged in a fierce confrontation. For a while, the two seemed to be on par. The two fought from the ground into the air. After a few rounds of fighting, the vegetable man suddenly flew up and appeared directly above Leping. Immediately after, the vegetable man swooped down. Leping grinned, and his figure disappeared in place. The vegetable man pounced. Turtle sect Qigong wave. Leping released energy in his hand, and a powerful Qigong wave smashed directly on the vegetable man's body. Boom! The vegetable man was smashed into the earth by the Qigong wave, leaving a small hole in the ground. When I looked again, I saw green smoke on the vegetable man, and I couldn't see it. Lost again. Naba was speechless. Snap! Leping fell from the sky and landed beside the vegetable man. These monsters are not as powerful as we think. It feels nothing remarkable. I will clean up the remaining 4 together, so I don't need you to appear. Leping smiled and his face showed confidence. Mound shook his head. This idiot. You're too careless, aren't you? HMPH, this time you underestimated the enemy. Vegeta chuckled. What did you say? Leping was stunned. Snap. Just as Leping's words fell, the vegetable man suddenly flew up and hugged Leping's body. Leping was shocked and realized that something seemed to be not good. Leping looked down and found that the vegetable man was showing a treacherous smile. Not good, Leping exclaimed. Boom! Immediately there was a big explosion in the vegetable man. The powerful explosive impact directly blew Leping's internal organs into dislocation. When the dust settled, Leping was already lying on the ground, completely dead. HMPH, interesting. Vegeta's smile emerged. Dunzi was just about to pat his paws to celebrate, but he turned his head and saw Son Gohan, the little doubting, looking at him squarely. Mound squinted. You little brat, what kind of eyes are you? Are you trying to rebel? Leping, he's dead. Bulma sighed. Vegeta, this little fart is right, it is indeed he who underestimated the enemy. Yuan Dong muttered. Are you okay to help that Saiyan named Vegeta speak? Bulma snorted. You look at this with a normal heart. Yuan Dong smiled and said, don't forget that this stick can resurrect people. I think they died, but it is a tempering of their hearts. Only then will they become stronger. Quote. Bulma, I feel like you have a point. But you just let them die. Bulmaso stopped talking. Leping. Klin hurriedly rushed up and appeared beside Leping. Klin checked Leping's body and found that he had completely cooled. Leping must have some foreboding, that's why he went for me. Klin's body couldn't stop trembling, his fists were clenched tightly, and his energy increased wildly. How do I explain to Pool? Quote. Such a powerful cultivator just fought a draw, it's simply unbelievable. Naba looked unhappy. It's already good. Vegeta smiled. You fellows, I'll make you pay. Kling's teeth bulged, and his forehead was bruised. Hey, Klin jerked, waving his hands forward. Suddenly, a powerful energy erupted from Klin's hands. The two energies converged to form a golden flame of light, heading straight for the area where Vegeta and the others were. Only, it's a little bit slower. Run dumplings, don't hurt you. Tianjin rice hurriedly flew into the sky. There's a lot of energy, but there's no speed. It's better to avoid it. Vic said. Dunzi, let's avoid it too. Son Gohan hurriedly dodged. Dunzi, avoid a fart. Just such a little energy, I can shatter with a fart, do I still have to hide? Moreover, you just glared at me. I'll find you later to settle the score. Dunzi, get out of the way. Son Gohan noticed that Dunzi had no intention of dodging, stepped forward and grabbed him by the neck, leading him towards the distance. Dunzi, pure croaks. Dunzi hated his teeth itching, and he couldn't wait to destroy Son Gohan's promise guy with a palm. As a dignified god of destruction, he actually let such a human grab his neck. My true identity must not be known to others. As long as it is someone who knows, I will definitely destroy him. Otherwise, I will be very faceless. If it weren't for the master's face, it's strange that you, the little doubting, can survive today. The vegetable people were also frightened and fled in all directions. Vegeta and Naba did not hide. Is such a little energy still used to hide? Naba stretched out his hand, intending to catch the energy that flew over. Hey! As Klin's energy flame approached Vegeta and Naba, he suddenly raised his hands upwards. The energy light flame soared into the sky at that time. Vegeta and Naba were slightly stunned and looked up at the sky. Yay! Klin drank heavily. Boom! The energy suddenly exploded in the air, splitting into 6 rays of light, smashing towards Vegeta and Naba below and the 4 vegetable people. Boom! Except for one of the vegetable men who escaped, the remaining 3 vegetable men were attacked on the spot and were blown to pieces. Naba and Vegeta were also hit by the energy. It worked, Dumpling said excitedly. Hey, missed one. Klin smiled. Meow. Mound patted Klin's pant leg and lifted the cat's paw. It's like saying, you're amazing. Klin. Chapter 71. That's awesome, Uncle Klin. Son Gohan was also a little excited. Ah! At this moment, I saw the surviving vegetable man suddenly burst out of the smoke and roared towards Son Gohan. Son Gohan was stunned. It's not good, it's this monster. Tianjin Fan exclaimed. The vegetable man slammed his paw towards Son Gohan. Son Gohan clearly saw that this guy's claws were sharp. Ah! Son Gohan dodged the vegetable's claws slightly to the side. Sabotage. As soon as Son Gohan raised his hand, a destructive energy was released at that time. Bang! The destructive energy hit the vegetable man. Snap! The vegetable man directly turned into dregs and dissipated at once. Dunsey. This little doubting. Against such a small thing, you still use sabotage. You have used up all the energy of destruction now, how will you fight those 2 people later? What about your IQ? Mound shook his head. Seeing Son Gohan being sneak attacked, Vic was also shocked, and hurriedly rushed up, and was about to go up to help. And then, the tragic discovery of Vic is that Son Gohan has easily destroyed the vegetable man. Bike's outstretched hand didn't know how to take it back. I felt so embarrassed. This. Klin was stunned and looked at Son Gohan with wide eyes. What are you kidding? What was that trick just now? Tianjin Fan was also dumbfounded. I feel so powerful. Struck lightly, and the person directly turned into scum. Did Vic teach Gohan? When did Vic learn such a powerful trick? Dumpling exclaimed. Vic, I'm special. I don't want to talk. That's not what I taught. If I say he learned it with a cat. Do you believe it? Because I saw with my own eyes that he and the cat were practicing boxing during the day. It's really a day, dog. How could such a strange thing happen? Just now. Is that Gohan? Has he become so strong? Bulma also widened her beautiful eyes, and her eyes were full of incredulity. That's the extreme intention gong I taught him, and the move just now was the destruction in the extreme intention gong. Yuan Dong smiled. Huh, extreme work. Bulma was stunned, feeling a little confused. HMPH, don't be happy too early. Vic snorted, the real battle has just begun. Originally I wanted to warm up, but I didn't expect to let Gohan's brat rob it. Quote. HMPH, then Meiji, you're right. Vegeta's voice rang out in the smoke. Klin was startled, and cold sweat broke out on his face. Tianjin rice and dumplings were also taken aback. Son Gohan looked calm. Mound grinned. It's getting more and more interesting. As you hope, the game is coming to an end. Vegeta's smile emerged. Hee, let me come out and have fun with you. Naba smiled softly. It was my all-out blow just now, are they actually safe? Klin exclaimed. Okay, let me destroy you, I will kill a few of you in an instant, you must be careful. Naba chuckled and stepped forward. Kakarot's son is a bit quirky. You be careful, Vegeta reminded. What's so weird, isn't it just to smash the vegetable man with one punch? We can do it easily, too. Naba smiled contemptuously, I will take special care of him. Quote. And after saying this, Naba laughed maniacally. At the same time, Naba's energy surged wildly. The land was trembling violently. What a horrible fellow. Klin stunned. This guy, how could this guy's energy be so powerful? Vic was stunned. Son Gohan frowned and clenched his fists tightly. His energy is beyond my imagination. Can my extreme skill really work? At this moment, Son Gohan was also a little shaken. The main thing is that Son Gohan is a little scared. After all, Son Gohan, this is the first official battle. Ha ha ha, which one will come to die first? Naba laughed maniacally, raised the energy to the extreme, and roared towards this side. Phew. Naba was the first to appear directly opposite the Tianjin meal. Tianjin Fan was stunned, and his face changed again and again. Tianjin Fan's pupils shrank sharply, and he subconsciously prepared for battle. Naba smashed a punch towards Tianjin Rice. Stupid, hurry up and get out of the way. Vic exclaimed. Vic horrified discovery. This punch of this bald Saiyan is very powerful. This three-eyed man will be like me, and he will be punched off his arm. Bang! Naba punched Tianjin Fan's arm. Snap! Only a crisp sound was heard, and Tianjin Rice's forearm flew on the spot. Ah! Tianjin Fan let out a scream, and the position of the broken arm sprayed blood outward. BCBA, Clin was dumbfounded. Vic widened his eyes. Sure enough, I guessed it. Brother Tien. Dumplings shouted loudly. HMPH, it's crispy enough. Vegeta smiled softly. Son Gohan was frightened. It's terrible. Why is this person so powerful? Dunzi glanced at Son Gohan. What is your expression? I feel a little scared by you. You can't. How did the master find a coward like you? Belch. Speaking of which, at first, my courage seemed to be a little small. The question is, I am timid because I am facing the most powerful god in the entire universe. How many do you mean by being timid? Your opponents are not as strong as you. You don't challenge people, you are scared like this. This sluggish. Mound shook his head. You're the first. Prepare to die. Naba sneered, and he was about to smash Tianjin Rice to death with a punch. Son Gohan was indeed frightened. After all, this was Son Gohan's first battle, mainly frightened by Naba's powerful aura. Moreover, the opponent looks too terrifying. Phew. Tianjin Fan endured the pain, gritted his teeth, and jumped into the air. You fool, I can't spare you. Tianjin Rice drank and was about to carry out a long-range attack on Naba. Phew. Naba flew into the sky, just a moment above the Tianjin Rice. Bang! Naba hung an upside-down golden hook and kicked heavily on Tianjin Fan's body. Tianjin Rice fell on the ground like a cannonball. Brother Tien, Dumpling exclaimed. Oh! Tianjin Fan gritted his teeth and struggled to stand up. This guy is quite tenacious, he hasn't stopped breathing. Naba smiled softly. Ah, what a huge amount of energy. Vic said quietly. This beast. Clin couldn't stand it anymore and rushed forward. Leave him alone, he can't do it anymore. Vic shouted. You hate it, Clin said angrily and sped up. Be nosy. Naba smiled lightly, waved his hand, and a powerful energy quickly covered down. Boom. Directly in front of Kling, there was a bottomless pit. Clin was almost devoured by this terrifying energy, frightening the 6 gods and masters, and his whole body trembled. How is this guy so powerful? Vic was stunned. Hey, what about dumplings? Clin looked left and right, and suddenly found that the dumplings were gone, and his face changed again and again. The dumplings were near me just now, so they won't be killed, right? Quote. What did you say? Tianjin Fan was shocked and angry. Naba, watch your back. Vegeta said with a smile. Naba was stunned. Snap. The dumpling suddenly pounced behind Naba, clinging his body to his back. Dumplings. What do you want? Tianjin Fan was shocked. Get out of here. Quote. Goodbye brother Tien, don't die. Dumpling smiled and showed an expression of death. Could it be? You, don't be like this. Tianjin Fan suddenly realized something and exclaimed loudly. Boom. The body of the dumpling blooms with a white light. An extremely powerful energy exploded with dumplings as the center. Dumplings blew themselves up. Tianjin Fan's pupils shrank sharply, and his face turned pale. Dumplings. Tianjin Rice shouted the name of the dumplings. Very good. This little guy died with the enemy, too brave. Vic breathed a slight sigh of relief. At least one was solved. However, just after Vic said this, the smile on his face gradually froze. Above the sky, Naba's intact body gradually emerged. Although there was still green smoke on his body. But anyone could tell that he wasn't hurt. Even if the injury is just a little skin trauma. Even the big explosion just now, even the armor on Naba's back was not shattered. HMPH, you seem to be disappointed. Naba chuckled. No, it's desperate, because you don't know our terrible place. Quote. Clin was dumbfounded. Son Gohan was frightened and stupid. Vic was also completely stunned. Mound shook his head. Shall I give them a hand? The gap is not a star and a half. They will all be killed if this goes on. Wrong, wrong. Xiaoduding, who has cultivated the extreme skill, should have no problem defeating the two of them. The problem is, this little doubting is snoring right now. I'm about to be scared into idiots. The peer really couldn't stand it. You have to overcome the fear in your heart, Son Gohan. The peer passed over. As the god of destruction, it is still easy to transmit a voice to a human. Of course, Dunzi did not spread his true voice out of the past. It's just a very ordinary voice. Son Gohan was stunned. Who's talking? Son Gohan quickly looked around. Whose voice is this? Not Uncle Vic, not Uncle Yuandong. You have comprehended a part of the extreme intention gong. You will not lose to anyone. You must clearly know that the extreme intention gong is a very powerful existence. Dunzi continued. Could it be? Don't. Are you talking? Blocks. Son Gohan suddenly realized something and looked down at Dunzi. Dunzi. Mound rolled his eyes. Of course it's me. Who else do you think it is? Dunzi said angrily. This idiot. It's really me off. I really want to spoil you. You. Can you speak? Son Gohan was dumbfounded. I'm transmitting sound to you in a form of energy compression that only you can hear, not others. Mound sighed. Is it? I don't know if you will communicate with me like this. Son Gohan and Dunzi talked like this, and the fear in their hearts was much less. Ha 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 ha, Kakarot's son is already scared and starts talking nonsense. Nabahaha laughed, but don't worry, after I finish off that three-eyed kid, I'll destroy you one by one in order, and none of you want to run today. Quote. How is he safe and sound? Klin was also frightened and glanced at Gohan. It was cruel for Gohan to fight at such a young age. No way, the reality is so cruel. He's just 5 years old. It is normal to join the battle at the age of 5 and talk nonsense in fear. Vic also glanced at Son Gohan, but didn't say anything more. Vic can't even take care of himself now, and he doesn't have the energy to take care of Son Gohan for the time being. Dumplings were resurrected once. He can no longer be resurrected. Tianjin Fan's whole body was trembling, his face was full of endless anger, and he looked up at Naba high in the sky. I definitely can't spare you. Quote. Listen, there is a flaw in the moment he attacks, we wait for that moment and then attack him. Vic greeted Klin and Son Gohan. Son Gohan was stunned and stared at the head. Immediately afterwards, Son Gohan immediately looked at Dunzi. Go, this plan is good, cooperate with them, and then easily solve it with one move of destruction. Mound nodded. After Dunzi finished speaking, he shook his head and sighed. My god of destruction is actually teaching this little doubting to fight. Forget it, just help you this time. As long as the owner is happy. I hope the host will be happy. I don't know what the master did. Haven't come to see me for so long. However, knowing that the owner is still alive, all this is enough. Beerus, you idiot, you don't know that the master is still alive, right? Wow, click, click, click. Elephant danced with joy at the thought that Beerus was still sleeping. Is that cat crazy? Klin wiped his sweat. You must cooperate well later, do you both understand? Maybe you can take this opportunity to destroy him. Vic said to Klin and Son Gohan. This plan is good, I wish you success in the battle. Vegeta smiled softly. Vic turned to glance at Vegeta. But you really think you can hurt him then? Vegeta's smile appeared, you better not dream about it. Of course, rest assured, I won't say anything about your plans. Quote. Just be funny, you laugh enough before Monkey King comes here. Vic snorted. Oh, Monkey King, who is he? Is it powerful? Vegeta asked with interest. I'm not interested in what you said about the Monkey King. Why don't you tell me where Yuandong is? Forget it, I'll find it myself later. The game of cat and mouse is still very interesting. Hey, Naba drank sharply and swooped down towards the Tianjin rice below. It's now, Vic said quickly. Good, Klin nodded. Son Gohan has to clench his teeth. Come on, Xiaoduding, you have to believe in your own strength, for you, they are too weak. Dunzi spoke again, that Vegeta is okay, just watch him out. Quote. The dumplings are dead. Tianjin rice was also injured. Leping also hung up. It's a little bit of a bad situation. Bulma wiped her sweat. Didn't I say that? My scepter can resurrect them. Yuandong smiled. Besides, without the scepter, I can also resurrect them. Quote. That bald Saiyan is going to do something to Tianjin rice. Bulma exclaimed. Tianjin Fan did not sit still, condensing the Qigong cannon in his hand. Naba is getting closer and closer to Tianjin rice. Suddenly, Vic came quickly. Bang! Vic punched Naba hard in the face. Naba was caught off guard and hit on the spot, and the beaten body flew backwards. Klin had long been ready on the sidelines. Bang! Klin clenched his fists and slammed a heavy punch on Naba's body. Naba fell from the sky. Naba flew in the direction where Son Gohan was. Broken. Destruction. Quote. Son Gohan looked at the flying Naba, and the corner of his mouth twitched. The next moment, the destructive energy bloomed in Son Gohan's hand. A purple-red energy the size of a mung bean was released from Son Gohan's hand. This energy went straight in the direction where Naba was, carrying an endless breath of death. Hey, what's that? Klin was stunned. How did Son Gohan release such a small thing? Also, it feels so slow. Vic, this idiot. So who can slow speed beat? Do you think it's that stone, standing there for you to hit? Let's also hurry up and attack. Klin said quickly. Vic did not have the slightest hesitation, and a spiral flame of light in his hand flew out. Klin simultaneously releases Qigong waves. Two streams of energy roared in the direction where Naba was. Naba was in midair, and suddenly came to his senses and saw two strands of energy flying. The next moment, Naba quickly adjusted his figure and hurriedly flew up, avoiding the invasion of these two energies. However, just as Naba had dodged the energy released by Klin and Bike, he saw a purple-red point of light the size of a green bean flying unhurriedly towards him. Oh, is this the energy released by Kakarot's son? Naba was happy at that time. Such an energy, do you also take it out to disgrace? Quote. Naba smiled contemptuously, and without the slightest hesitation, slapped the mung bean-sized point of light. Vegeta's frowned suddenly. Why do I feel that little spot of light the size of a green bean? There is a terrible smell of death. Snap. Naba slapped on top of the purple-red spot of light. At the moment when Naba's hand and the purple-red point of light just came into contact, Naba's whole body was violently trembling. Below. Dumpling, I want to avenge you. You wait, I won't leave you alone. Tianjin Fan looked up at Naba in the sky, and endless anger and hatred appeared in his eyes. Qigong Cannon. Boom. The Qigong Cannon directly swallowed Naba above the sky. Wait until the smoke clears. Naba has turned into slag and nothing is gone. Hey, in this way, I will be blinded when I die. The corners of Tianjin Fan's mouth rose slightly, and an endless smile appeared on his face. Dumplings, I avenge you. He was beaten into slag by me. Snap. Tianjin Fan suddenly fell to the ground and passed away with a smile. Klin was stunned. When did Tianjin Rice's Qigong Cannon become so powerful? Tianjin Rice. Klin exclaimed. Strong as powerful, but you're dead too. Vic frowned. Vic keenly discovered. The Saiyan named Naba did not die on the Qigong Cannon of the three-eyed man. Instead, it was made into slag by Gohan's energy point of light 2120. It was at this time that the three-eyed man just released a Qigong wave. Then, the Saiyan named Naba disappeared completely. Is it really Gohan? Vegeta's eyes widened as well, revealing a look of shock. What was that all about? Naba was killed. Was it killed by that three-eyed man? Wrong. It feels unlikely. The last move released by the three-eyed man was not small. But, it is absolutely impossible to beat Naba without even slag left. Could it be that Naba was beaten into slag by Kakarot's son with that strange little point of light? Yes, you know how powerful you are now, right? Dunzi smiled and transmitted a voice to Son Gohan. Did I kill him? Son Gohan was stunned. What else do you think? You wouldn't think that the three-eyed man's Qigong Cannon smashed him. Dunzi wanted to laugh. You really don't have any more observation. What is Gohan talking about? Klin was stunned. Vic didn't answer. Did Gohan say it was the big guy he killed? Klin looked confused. Really fake. How the hell did that big Saiyan die? Wasn't it bombarded into slag by Tianjin Rice's Qigong Cannon? Vegeta's expression also became solemn, and he looked at Son Gohan without blinking. That Saiyan named Naba is dead. Bulma rubbed her eyes and clapped her hands happily. Tianjin Rice is good. It's just that Bulma just finished clapping her hands, and suddenly felt inappropriate. Although the Saiyan named Naba died, Tianjin Fan also paid with his own life for it. That was a good one just now. Yuan Dong nodded, but it wasn't Tianjin Fan that killed Naba. Quote, isn't it Tianjin Rice? Bulma was slightly startled. Wasn't Tianjin Fan hitting Naba's body with a Qigong cannon, and Naba was broken? Quote, Yuan Dong smiled. Explain to you what is not clear. When Tianjin Rice and Wukong competed in the world's first martial arts conference, the Qigong waves released by Tianjin Rice were indeed very strong. Bulma sighed. I remember releasing a Qigong cannon during the Tianjin meal, and it turned the ring into slag at that time. Quote, aha, if you like it. Yuan Dong smiled. Battle scene. Vegeta walked in the direction of Son Gohan and the others. This guy is not simple, you have to deal with it carefully. Dunzi suddenly transmitted a message to Son Gohan. Huh, you mean to say, can't I beat him? Son Gohan hurriedly asked. You can fight, but it depends on how you fight. Dunzi muttered, your destructive power is not small, but the speed is too slow, he may dodge. Quote, Son Gohan, it seems to be, and your combat experience is far from enough. Mound sighed. That, so what to do? Son Gohan's face changed color. Take your time. Fight with him first, wait until your combat experience is experienced, and then suddenly use destruction, you will definitely catch him by surprise. Dunzi smiled, but what? Son Gohan asked again. It's a pity to destroy this guy just like that, though. Forget it, there should be quite a few such people, destroy it. Mound shook his head. Klin on the side froze. Why is Son Gohan talking to himself with that cat again? Really scared silly. Vic was keenly aware that this cat was definitely not as simple as he thought. Could it be that this cat is in spiritual communication with Gohan? Otherwise, how could Gohan be talking to himself there? It was a good performance just now. Vegeta smiled softly and looked at Son Gohan and Vic and the others with interest. Kakarot's son is a bit extraordinary. What exactly was that strange point of light in his? Why is it so destructive and powerful? Could it be that he had just broken Naba? Then, the three-eyed man used the Qigong cannon to bomb Naba into scum. Or did that purple point of light directly beat Naba into slag? If that purple point of light can directly beat Naba into slag, then Kakarot's son is terrifying. I'll observe it now. You can't act so rashly. This imp, what the hell happened to him? Why hasn't Goku come yet? Klin couldn't help but ask. Hey, little bald head, is the Monkey King you said Kakarot? Vegeta stopped and asked suddenly. Yes, that's right, so what? Klin gritted his teeth, you're the only one left next, do you think you can beat the three of us? Quote, oh, you're naive. Vegeta laughed, do you think you can defeat me with the three of you? Let me tell you this, if only calculated in terms of combat strength, my combat power value is 3 times that of that idiot. Quote, with that, Vegeta held out 3 fingers. What? Klin was taken aback. Vic also changed his face again and again. 3 times. Son Gohan's face was sweating. I'm the most talented warrior among the Saiyans. Vegeta chuckled, I was born with a combat power of 800. Do you know what this concept is? When Raditz came to Earth, Kakarot and this nemesis had a little more than 400 combat power. Quote, do you mean that you were born to sweep our entire planet? Klin snorted, and then said dryly, you lied. How can a newborn child have such a powerful fighting power? Quote, Vic changed his face again and again. He's definitely not lying. I can clearly feel that this guy's strength is absolutely extraordinary. Just now, Gohan should have just luckily beaten the guy named Naba to death. But, Gohan's move was too slow. If this guy named Vegeta is really 3 times the strength of Naba, he will also be more than 3 times faster than that guy. With his speed, he can definitely easily dodge attacks. To be honest, I'm not interested in the 3 of you. Vegeta smiled and said, you 3 are too weak, I will wipe out all 3 of you in an instant. Quote, Klin was terrified and immediately prepared for battle. Vic is also gritting his teeth. Let's hope for a miracle. Son Gohan clenched his fists even more. Mound glanced at Vegeta. This product can really blow. You can destroy the nemesis and the bald head in an instant. But with your strength, if you want to destroy this little doubting in an instant, then you are foolish. After all, Xiaoduding has learned the extreme skill. But the peer can see it. Vegeta didn't seem to be in a hurry to attack them. I must have been frightened by the destruction just now. After all, that move feels too terrifying. At that time, the destruction of the pole surprised the great priest. Vegeta, this guy, was not scared to death on the spot, and his psychological quality is relatively strong. I heard in the probe that Kakarot was resurrected through Dragon Balls, am I right? Vegeta asked. That's right. Klin nodded. What do you mean, are you trying to wait for Kakarot to arrive? Is that guy the savior you're counting on? Vegeta chuckled, he can't even beat Raditz, so what's the use? Quote. He's not the same as he used to be, he's stronger. Klin gritted his teeth. It's absolutely impossible for you to beat Sun Wukong. Vic snorted. Oh, so why didn't he come? Was it because of fear of running away? Vegeta said with a smile. It will come. Dad will definitely come. He will definitely come and clean you up. Son Gohan said loudly. HMPH, it seems that you trust him a lot. Vegeta smiled, it's getting more and more interesting. Okay, I'll wait until he comes over. Quote. Son Gohan and the others were stunned. What exactly is this guy's purpose? But of course I can't wait forever. Vegeta added, well, 3 hours, I'll only wait for you for 3 hours, and if Kakarot doesn't come, I'll kill you with my own hands. Quote. Klin breathed a slight sigh of relief. Great, another 3 hours to live. It's just that, why is this guy waiting for Goku to come over? Is he so confident? Goku is coming, can the four of us still beat this guy? Son Gohan was also a little puzzled. Why did he suddenly have to wait 3 hours? Is it bad to attack directly? The reason is very simple. Now he does not dare to make a rash move, he needs time to digest the destruction you just made. Dunzi chuckled, this guy is still a bit of a brain, a little smarter than I thought. Quote. Digest the 12 destruction I just had. Son Gohan muttered. How is this thing digested? Just because I don't know how to digest it, I need time to think about it. Do you understand when I say that? Dunzi said angrily. Why are you so stupid? What a disgrace to the owner. Got it. Son Gohan suddenly realized, and asked, what should we do? Do you have to wait for him to digest it? Or do you say attack right now? Quote. Wait. Dunzi replied, you have learned the extreme skill and your strength has greatly improved, but you have never found a suitable opponent. I feel that this person named Vegeta is not much different from your strength, and you can just hone yourself through his good training. You let him digest well, so that his strength is slightly stronger than yours, and you can better hone yourself. Quote. Son Gohan, do I have to wait for him to be stronger than me? Son Gohan hesitated. Shall I rush up now? Of course, you can rush up now, but I won't guide you again this time. Dunzi said with a smile. Son Gohan had no confidence at that time. If you don't guide me, what will I do next? So, I waited for him to finish digesting. Can you guide me? Son Gohan asked. This one can. Mound nodded. Well, in a word, Dunzi. Son Gohan said excitedly. Don't call me Dunzi, you don't have the qualifications to call me. Dunzi huffed. Then what do I call you? Son Gohan scratched his head, I can't call you to feed. Quote. Whatever you want. Mound snorted, look closely at that guy named Vegeta, he's eavesdropping on you. Quote. Son Gohan turned his head sharply. Sure enough, Son Gohan keenly discovered that Vegeta was eavesdropping with his ears up. Vegeta also immediately spotted Son Gohan who had seen it. Vegeta pretended to be nobody, holding his arms and smiling softly at Son Gohan. Son Gohan, it's really like that, am I not wrong? Mound smiled. Son Gohan nodded vigorously. Hey, Bike, why is Gohan talking to that cat again? Klin wiped his sweat. Vic, that cat is not simple, can't you see it? Could it be that the cat is Gohan's teacher? What kind of kung fu was taught to him by that cat? Klin said with a dry smile. Vic didn't want to talk. Bike, didn't you take Gohan away? Klin asked again. Where did you get so much nonsense? Vic huffed. Forget it. Why hasn't Goku come yet? Klin wiped his sweat and suggested, no, let's run away, I feel like if what he said is true, we may not be his opponents. Quote. You idiot, his goal is to wipe out all mankind, even if he escapes, it is useless. Vic snorted. After a moment of silence, Klin's mood gradually calmed down. Then again, Gohan, what trick did you just do? Klin turned to ask son Gohan. Uncle Klin, that move just now was called destruction. Son Gohan grinned and replied, the power is okay. Quote. Power. No. What I want to ask is, was it you or Tianjin Fan who killed the guy named Naba? Klin asked. It should be Uncle Tianjin Fan, said Sun Wuhan with a dry smile. Although my destructive move is very strong, the speed is a little slow, maybe he dodged it. Quote. Ha ha ha, I'll just say yes. Klin laughed. Vic. Gohan, this little brat, why don't you tell the truth? Do you think I don't know? Just now, it was clear that you eliminated the Saiyan named Naba. I see. Gohan was deliberately saying this to Vegeta. Fortunately, he was defeated by surprise in the battle after a while. This little guy is quite smart. Vegeta was slightly stunned. Kakarot's son said, that move is called sabotage. Why does this name sound so familiar? It seems to have been heard somewhere. Where exactly did you hear it? Vegeta fell into deep thought. It's just that the matter of Beerus is too far away. Vegeta didn't associate Son Gohan with Beerus. Moreover, Beerus did not perform damage that year. Vegeta only knew that Beerus was the god of destruction, but had never heard of the trick of destruction. Vegeta thought for a long time, but did not have the slightest clue. Listening to what that little devil meant, his destructive speed was relatively slow. Of course, this imp may be paralyzing me so that I can be careless. That's why he said that it was my three-eyed man who killed Naba. Are you stupid for me? You think I Vegeta can't see it? You are so naive. I'll wait a little longer, maybe I'll hear more valuable news. As for the cockode kind of guy, HMPH, even if he comes, he is not my opponent. Sixth universe, like the planet Pa. Compared with the fierce battle on the side of the seventh universe Earth, the planet Champa appeared much calmer. Today on this planet, Bardos also welcomed two guests. They are Mito, the god of destruction from the 11th universe, and Makarita, the angel of the 11th universe. Makarita, what wind is blowing you? Bardos asked with a smile. It's so beautiful that adults are idle and bored, and they want to come and talk to Lord Champa. Makarita replied with a smile and asked, by the way, isn't Lord Elephant Pa there? Quote. Lord Champa has been out for a while. Bardos replied. Out, what did it do? Mirai was stunned, stepped forward and asked, did you go out and destroy the planet? Quote. Lord Champa met an old friend and followed him on a sightseeing tour. Bardos smiled. How long has he been out? Mime asked. It's been about 10 months. Bardos replied. Been out for so long. Did he say when he would return? Mimi asked again. It may take a year to come back. Bardos replied. Delicious taste. It takes so long. This guy really knows how to play. Actually went out for a year. Delicious adults, you go around first. Makarita greeted. By what? What are you going to do? Mimi asked. Girls whisper something to each other, do you want to listen? Makarita rolled her eyes. It was so delicious that I wiped my sweat and walked away very consciously. Seeing that the taste had gone away, Makarita looked at Bardos with a serious face. Makarita, why this expression? Did something happen? Bardos asked with a smile. Bardos, I ask you, where is your scepter? Makarita asked. So it's this matter, presumably you have already contacted me, right? Wasn't it me who saw it? Bardos grinned. You can still laugh. Makarita wiped her sweat and replied with a dark face, how do you give the scepter to others casually? What does he have to do with you? Quote. It's okay, don't be cranky. Bardos smiled and said, last time he came to me and made me a grilled fish, I thought it was delicious. The last time I came over, I asked him to make me another grilled fish. He wanted to use my scepter to do research. I studied it for him, and it was as simple as that. Quote. Makarita, a grilled fish, and then you gave him the scepter. Makarita really didn't know what to say. You don't have a special relationship, do you? Makarita wiped her sweat. What do you think? Bardos sighed. How is that possible? I am an angel, he is a human being, and there can be no special feelings between us. Quote. That's good. After all, Lord Father has already promised you to the small city lord of the City of Angels, and it was agreed that you would get married in 100 million years. Is it still 100 years away now? Makarita asked. Hey, Bardos let out a long sigh. It seems that you don't like him. Makarita said. Yes, I don't feel anything at all. Bardos nodded. That time I saw him 100 million years ago, right? At that time, he and we were young, and it was normal not to understand things. Makarita persuaded. Before I know it, time flies so fast, there are still 100 years left. Bardos sighed again. Actually, I think he's very good, that's the little city lord. Makarita said. Well, tell your father, or will you marry him? Bardos said with a smile. Me, I don't want to get married yet. Makarita shook her head vigorously. You don't want to get married, and you still want me to marry early. Bardos rolled his eyes and shook his head. Forget it, don't talk about him, think about it, think about it, think about it, just run away from marriage. Quote. Running away from marriage. How to escape. Although the universes we are currently in are very vast, they are much smaller than the city of angels where we first lived. Makarita sighed. Speaking of which, we haven't been back to the city of angels for a long time. Quote. That place, I don't want to go back, I still think it's good here. Bardos shook his head, seemingly resisting the place. By the way, have you heard? The lord of the great city had already announced that the man had been sentenced to death. Makarita said suddenly. That man, the one who challenged the great city lord. Bardos was slightly stunned, after so long, finally willing to start. Quote. Maybe if you don't do it again, there will be more trouble in the future, right? Makarita replied. It seems that the execution will be carried out in 10 years. Quote. Whatever, it has nothing to do with us. Bardos shook his head. This is also the first person in hundreds of millions of years who dares to challenge the lord of the great city. Makarita sighed slightly, and lowered her voice again and asked, Bardos, who is bigger than the lord of the great city that you say that your father is compared to the lord of the great city? Quote. You should ask your father about this kind of thing. Bardos smiled. Perhaps, stronger than my father. Quote. Seventh universe, Earth. 3 hours passed quickly. Sun Wukong still hasn't returned. Vegeta didn't want to wait for the Monkey King. As Dunzi expected, Vegeta digests the destruction of Son Gohan before digesting. Also thinking about a strategy against the enemy. Although an hour ago, Vegeta had already figured out how to clean up Son Gohan. But Vegeta waited an extra 2 hours for Son Gohan. Say wait 3 hours, wait 3 hours. These 3 hours, the bored one has fallen asleep. Yuan Dong also asked Bulma to prepare food. Why else wait here? Grab something to eat first, enjoy life. Admire it slowly later. When the fight over there is almost done, go over and repair Vegeta. I think Vegeta must have been repaired by me to doubt his life. 3 hours have passed, Kakarot still hasn't appeared, and that coward will definitely not come again. Vegeta smiled softly and removed the detector from his eye. Vegeta had already put the probe on before, because the detector can amplify the sound. This makes it easier for Vegeta to eavesdrop on Son Gohan's conversation between them. Now that trick doesn't seem to be a big deal. Just get out of the way. In addition, Kakarot's son had no other skills. No, my dad isn't a coward. Son Gohan said loudly. Not good. Why hasn't Goku come back yet? A cold sweat broke out on Klin's face. Vic, there was a brief silence. Listen, we have only a glimmer of hope. Vic said suddenly, the premise is that it can be successful. Quote. Klin was stunned and looked up at Bike. Son Gohan also pricked up his ears, hesitated, and stepped forward to pat Dunzi's head. Hey, wake up quickly, the battle is about to begin. Son Gohan said. Vic, I'm talking about plans, why did you run over and get the cat? How do you implement my plan like this? Dunzi opened one eye and yawned, ignoring Son Gohan. Dunzi, you said you would guide me. Son Gohan was crying and laughing. I'm sleepy, you yourself watch the beating, I will guide you when appropriate. Mound sighed. The little fart is really annoying, and they can't sleep well. Vic, you tell me about your plan. Klin hurriedly said, Gohan, you also come and listen, don't go get that cat. Son Gohan had to step forward. We haven't fought him, I don't know what his strength is, but his strength is very terrifying, and whether he succeeds depends on this time. Vic mused. First, Klin grabbed his attention, and then I took the opportunity to go over and grab his tail. Before he breaks his tail, Gohan, you hurry up and release a destructive past. Maybe this will destroy him. Huh, I was still thinking about going head to head with him. Son Gohan was stunned. Stop saying stupid things, do you think you are his opponent? Vic snorted, do you think you'll be able to defeat this Vegeta by luckily destroying that Saiyan named Nappa? Huh, was it really Gohan who destroyed Nappa? Klin was stunned. Now is not the time to say this, in short, what I just said is our only way. Vic said in a deep voice, Gohan, you must know clearly that the fate of the Earth is now in your hands. Quote. Son Gohan began to struggle again. Did I listen to the Dunzi, or did I listen to Uncle Bike? I want to hear about the Dunzi. But what if I lose? I don't want us to die here anymore. I'm going to protect Uncle Klin and Uncle Bike. Son Gohan took a deep breath and finally made up his mind. Because Son Gohan feels that Uncle Bike's battle plan is still very good. It's better than going head to head, right? Mound yawned again and opened one eye to look this way. How many of you weak chickens, you still have to make a battle plan? Do you know that with you two weak chickens, no matter how hard you try, you can't be that person's opponent? Forget it, I'll eat melon on the side. Vegeta stepped forward. The battle is on the verge of breaking out. Temple. Here it comes. The Monkey King is already here. The gods were surprised and delighted. It's so fast, it's 1 million kilometers so fast. Mr. Bobo was also surprised. Ah, the gods disappeared in place. Just in an instant, the heavenly god appeared in the underground mansion. The Snake Road of the prefecture is located. Sun Wukong had already seen King Yan Luo's hall at this time. Great, over there is Uncle Yan Luo's residence. Sun Wukong said in surprise, and gritted his teeth to speed up. Ah, Sun Wukong entered the great hall of King Yan Luo. Goku, quick, the gods cried out. Sun Wukong immediately stepped forward and grabbed the heavenly god. Ah, the heavenly god took Sun Wukong's figure for a while, and then disappeared in place. Uncle Yan Luo showed a look of surprise. Did that kid really come back from the Realm King? Ah, the two returned to the Temple of Earth in just an instant. Okay, I'm going, I've already practiced my kung fu. Sun Wukong gasped and said to the heavenly god. It's all up to you. Tenjin nodded. Come on Goku, Mr. Bobo said. Sun Wukong gave a thumbs up and quickly fell from the temple. Guys, Gohan, take care. Here, Sun Wukong has no strength. The Garen Immortal looked up at the Monkey King above and threw the prepared Immortal Bean directly to him. Snap, Sun Wukong caught Xian Bean. Goku, these are the last two fairy beans. The Garen Immortal shouted. Thank you, Garen Immortal. Sun Wukong quickly thanked and ate one directly. Suddenly, Sun Wukong's already tired body immediately became energetic. Yuan Dong was slightly startled, looked at Bulma and asked, I obviously felt that Goku no longer has much energy, how did he manage to restore his energy to the peak immediately? Quote, hey, is Goku back? Bulma was stunned for a moment and explained, he must have eaten the fairy beans that the Garen Immortals gave him, right? Don't you know yet, Sendo can immediately recover injuries and physical strength. Quote, is there still this panacea on Earth? Yuan BCEC East was really a little surprised. Yes, Bulma nodded. Yuan Dong immediately looked at the scepter. Scepter, I heard Elephant Pa say that you should still be able to teleport things. Yuan Dong said with a smile. Without the slightest hesitation, the scepter immediately went to Garinta to get the fairy beans through the power of angels. No more. Immediately afterwards, 3 words appeared on the scepter. No more. Do you mean to say that the fairy beans are gone? Yuan Dong squinted his eyes and asked. There are only the last 2 left, both of which were given to Sun Wukong by the Garen Immortals. The scepter snorted, and immediately a line of text flashed. Bulma wiped her sweat. You see what you scared this stick into. But this stick is really magical. There's really enough to be able to do things. Was it going to Garintana just now? Can this kind of thing be done? Yuandong, can it take things through the air? Bulma suddenly became interested. Yes, only what you can't think of, nothing it can't do. Yuan Dong smiled. Then you let the stick get some money, okay? Bulma proposed. Your family is the richest man in the world. What do you want so much money for? Yuan Dong wipes his sweat. This money junkie. Although our family is the richest man in the world, it is very likely to be surpassed by other families in the future. Bulma replied eloquently, of course, the more money, the merrier. Quote. Then, you go find a way to move a mountain of gold. Yuan Dong ordered to the scepter, well, it doesn't have to be too big, just 10 tons. Quote. 10 tons of gold, Bulma exclaimed. But then, Bulma patted her head again, immediately took out the calculator and pressed it a few times, and shook her head in disappointment. How? Yuan Dong was stunned and asked. I thought 10 tons of gold was a lot, but it didn't turn out to be much money. Bulma said with a smile, you see, at present, a gram of gold is about 400, so 10 tons is 4 billion. 4 billion is indeed an astronomical amount for ordinary people, but for our family, it seems to be really nothing remarkable. Quote. Then think for yourself and see if you want something. Yuan Dong smiled. Don't ask for anything yet, let's defeat the Saiyan named Vegeta first. Bulma wiped her sweat. If you don't get it, the earth is almost gone. What should our family do with so much money? Maybe it's the end of the world soon. The scepter breathed a sigh of relief. It's okay. I am the scepter of the Most High God. You make me work as a cow and a horse for ordinary humans. And asked me to get her a mountain of gold. I feel like I'm so tragic. Bardos, why haven't you taken me back? Battle scene. Okay, let's get started. Klin shouted and rushed in Vegeta's direction. Vegeta had a little surprise. How, little bald head, you suddenly engaged in an attack. What is the other purpose, right? Vegeta said with a smile. Vic, this Saiyan named Vegeta is quite intelligent. You have to get his attention. Son Gohan was also ready for battle at this time, ready to wreak havoc at any time. Whoa. As Klin approached Vegeta, he suddenly let out a wild scream. Immediately afterwards, Klin's hands pressed down sharply, and a flame of light erupted from his hands. This flame of light hit the ground at that time. When he looked again, Klin was already flying into the sky. Vegeta was stunned, squinted at Bike, chuckled, and immediately looked up at Klin in the sky. Here's your chance. Without the slightest hesitation, Vic quickly rushed behind Vegeta. How? Want to grab my tail? Vegeta snorted coldly and kicked away. Bang! Only a muffled sound was heard, and Vic was hit on the spot and kicked by Vegeta. Bang! Vic plunged headlong into a large mountain in the distance, deeply embedded in it. What? Klin was dumbfounded. This guy is moving so fast. The reaction is too agile. Vic didn't even catch his tail. Phew. Vegeta soared into the sky and appeared directly opposite Klin. Klin turned pale with fright. Little bald head, you came to attract my attention so that the guy could grab my tail, right? Vegeta's smile appeared. Such an obvious scheme, also want to deceive me, Vegeta. Quote. Oops. Klin shuddered. Bang. Vegeta backhanded a backhand slap on Klin's face. Klin flew out upside down, fell to the ground at once, and bounced off the ground several times. By the time Klin landed again, he was already seriously injured. Vegeta only lasted a split second to severely injure Klin and Bike. Vic crawled out of the cave in embarrassment, blood running from the corners of his mouth. Uncle Vic, Uncle Klin. Son Gohan looked at Vic and then at Klin, and for a while he was a little uncertain. How did the two of them get defeated by this guy at once? Meow, the Dunzi cat barked, stretching out. You'd better hurry up. You little bean, what are you hesitating there? I really convinced you. Up, Dunzi spoke to Son Gohan. Ah, it's. Son Gohan nodded solemnly and rushed towards Vegeta with his teeth dancing. Vegeta was also ready for battle. However, just as Son Gohan was getting closer and closer to Vegeta, Vic also gritted his teeth and climbed out of the cave, turning his head to look diagonally back. Wait a minute, what's that? Vic exclaimed. Son Gohan hurriedly braked sharply halfway. Son Gohan turned to look at Bike. Son Gohan. Uncle Vic, can you not talk? I finally mustered up my courage. I'm discouraged when you say this. Son Gohan wiped his sweat hard. Vegeta also did not attack Son Gohan. In fact, Vegeta also wants to find an opponent who is equal and has a good fight. After all, Vegeta clearly knew that his combat effectiveness had improved too slowly over the years. This is also the reason why Vegeta did not immediately go to kill Son Gohan. What? Vegeta was stunned, and also looked in the direction Vic was looking. What's that? I sensed an extremely powerful aura approaching. Vic turned his head to look backwards, looking a little excited. Vegeta frowned. It's Monkey King coming. I know he will definitely come. This guy made me wait so hard. A smile appeared on Vic and endless anticipation appeared on his face. Is Daddy coming? That's great. Son Gohan was also very excited. I don't have to fight when Dad comes, right? Oh, Kakarot. Vegeta was slightly stunned. Don't these two guys need detectors to sense someone coming? Vegeta snorted and bent down to pick up the detector that had been placed on the ground. Dunzi also turned his head and looked in that direction. Dunzi did sense that a powerful aura was speeding towards this side. Wrong. Besides, how could I sense another extremely powerful guy? This guy seems to have just entered the 7th universe from the 6th universe. Is it delicious? If I'm guessing correctly, it should be this guy. Yes, that's him. Can I sense that far away now? That's right. This is because I practice extreme intentional gong. This is the ultimate skill that my master taught me. It's so delicious that this guy. How did you get to my 6th universe? That's right. I remember. Before I met my master, it was as if he was still dating me. That's when I promised him. But later, for various reasons, I forgot about the date with him. This goods should be fighting with me when they go to the 6th universe. The question is, why did he come to the 7th universe again? The vast universe, the sea of stars. Mimed and the angel Masharita are speeding through the 7th universe. The two left a long flame of light in this starry sky. The two had just emerged from the destruction god realm of the 6th universe. Like Pa, that nasty fellow. He said he wanted to make a fight with me, but he ran out to play. Wei Mei said with a dark face. Did Lord Mimi come to the 7th universe to challenge Lord Beerus? Makurita asked with a smile. Of course. Michi nodded. I'm afraid Lord Beerus should be sleeping at this time. Makurita smiled. This guy seems to have been sleeping for years. Mimi frowned. Yes. Makurita nodded. Back then, Lord Quan Wong held a hide-and-seek conference in the whole universe, and he was able to find a place to hide and fall asleep, so that Lord Quan Wong couldn't find it for many years. You can say how good he can sleep. Quote. Lord Quan Wong is very upset about this, right? It's so delicious that it laughs dryly. Isn't it? Several Lord Destroyer God made Lord Quan Wong happy, but they paid a lot of price. Makarita smiled. I hadn't become a god of destruction at that time. It tastes so delicious that it wipes its sweat. Yes, at that time, the god of destruction of the 11th universe was still Lord Duggs. Makarita nodded slightly. By the way, Makarita, who was Lord Duggs killed by? Mime asked. I don't know, and I don't need to know this. Makarita shook her head. The man who can punch Duggs to death. I can't think it came out of the City of Angels. So this matter ended in the end. In short, listening to Tiger's meaning, it was also Doug who took the initiative to provoke people at that time. Killed. It can only be said that you were unlucky. It's all in the past, and there is no need to know some things in so much detail. You know, it's delicious. Makarita instructed to the taste. I see. Michi nodded. The two streaked a brilliant flame of light in the starry sky and passed near the Milky Way where the Earth is located. However, just when Makarita had just marched to the edge of the galaxy, she stopped her progress. The taste slowly stopped. What's wrong? Makarita, what happened? Why did it stop suddenly? Mimi asked. I seem to sense the breath of Lord Elephantpa. Makarita mused. Elephant Pa, what is he doing in the 7th universe? It's delicious. I don't know. Makarita shook her head, and the crystal ball on the scepter in her hand flickered a few times, probing in the direction where Champa was. Earth. Vegeta also looked slightly moved after picking up the detector and seeing a powerful combat force approaching. It's about 4 minutes away. His combat effectiveness is in the region of 5,000. It should continue to improve. Vegeta frowned. And after saying this to himself, Vegeta's face showed killing intent. No way. Can't keep these guys alive anymore. If they join forces, it's a bit more difficult for me to deal with. Especially Kakarot and his son joined forces. I had to kill them immediately. It's the Monkey King. Monkey King, this guy is finally here. Vic smiled softly. Then, I had to kill you in advance, and I could easily eliminate you before he came here. Vegeta chuckled. What did you say? Bike's face changed color. Didn't you say you had to wait for Monkey King to come over? Now that the Monkey King is coming, you are going to kill us. You guy doesn't talk about martial virtue at all. Uncle Bike, you and Uncle Clin stay away, I'll deal with my dad before he comes here. Son Gohan hurriedly drank. Dunzi looked up at the sky from the side. I can sense. The guy had stopped near the Milky Way, where Earth is located. Has he sensed my presence? No, with the strength of that guy, it is impossible to sense my presence. It must be that Makarita sensed me. It's over. Makarita won't use the scepter to see me change back to cat appearance, will she? They will definitely make fun of me. Champa's egg hurts. Shall I change back right away? But I'm almost at ease. I'm going back now, and it's a bit of a bad fit. Also, how idle are you guys? What are you doing in the 7th universe? Near the Milky Way, the scepter in Makarita's hand flashed and began to probe in the direction of the Earth. It's just that. Check and check. Phew. Layers of snowflakes appeared on the crystal ball above the scepter. What's the situation? Why is there no signal? Makarita was stunned for a moment. What's wrong? Mime asked. It seems that something has blocked a certain planet, and it is impossible to find the location of Lord Champa through the scepter. Makarita mused. Do you still need to say that? The guy like Pa should be on that planet. Wei Mei said with a smile. It's such an obvious way to hide, I don't know who came up with it. Makarita nodded, and turned her head to look at Wei Mei again. Does Lord Wei Mei want to go to that planet to find Lord Champa? Quote. Go, of course you have to go, I'm looking for him outside, he's good, run to the 7th universe to wander around. Wei Mei hated her teeth itching, since I made an appointment to have a good fight, but suddenly there was no news, I despise this cat. Quote. Well, let's go. Makarita pointed to the direction of the Earth. Lord Doug's unfulfilled last wish, let me fulfill it. Endless fighting intent appeared on the face of the delicious beauty. Lord Doug's was no match for Champa. Lord Doug's, now I will step on the elephant under my feet to comfort you in the spirit of heaven. Belch, it seems that you don't have any more spirits in the sky. Your soul is gone. It's really weird. Who did it? Why did this matter end in the end? I was so confused by this that I was a little puzzled. Snap. The bright light and flames around Makarita's body quickly covered the delicious body. The next moment, the two roared away in the direction where the Earth was. Earth. Champa was slightly stunned. Did they find me? I could clearly sense that Mime and Makarita were heading in the direction of the Earth. Can you wait until I've finished practicing the extreme intention gong before coming over? Although I can now beat the taste all over the ground to find teeth. But I'm just a cat now. I don't want you to see me like this. All right, let's take it one step at a time. If Mimi really dares to come to me for trouble, I will not hesitate to repair him. Just do it. Dunzi took a deep breath. Phew. Suddenly, I saw Vegeta strike quickly, and hit Son Gohan's abdomen with a heavy punch. Poof. Son Gohan spewed out a mouthful of acidic water. Although Sun Wuhan has already comprehended some of the extreme skills, after all, he has too little combat experience. Bang! Vegeta flew up and kicked Son Gohan upside down. Son Gohan quickly adjusted his figure in the air. Vegeta sped over. Looking at the speedy Vegeta, Son Gohan waved his small hand, and a destructive energy emerged, 180. Phew! Suddenly, a purple-red point of light floated in the direction where Vegeta was. Ah! Vegeta turned to his side, dodging the destructive energy. Bang! Vegeta followed him up and kicked Son Gohan into the sky. Snap! The purple-red point of light hit a stone behind Son Gohan. The stone shattered like soap bubbles and turned into slag. Vegeta broke out in a cold sweat. This trick of this little fart is simply terrible. I wonder if I will turn into a stone after being hit. No way. I'd better distance myself from him. In case he condenses that little point of light into his hand and slaps me. I'm afraid I'll be hurt even if I don't die. Little bunny, let you taste this. Vegeta snorted coldly, condensing energy in his hand. Phew, an energy in Vegeta's hand roared in the direction where Son Gohan was. Son Gohan hardly hesitated and quickly flew into the sky. HMPH. Vegeta smiled wickedly, and a cloud of energy appeared in his other hand. Vegeta aimed his other hand at Son Gohan in the sky. I have long seen that your flying ability is very average, you should have just learned to fly not long ago, right? Vegeta smiled. This time, can you hide? Quote. Not good. Son Gohan's face changed color. Oops. Vic also changed his face again and again. This guy the first thought you could start with. Was it a result that he was beaten like this by Vegeta in 3 or 2 strokes? Hey, Dunzi. Sun Wuhan was already in midair and had no idea, so he immediately looked at Dunzi with a help-seeking gaze. Dunzi did not take care of Son Gohan. I'm busy. The taste will soon reach Earth. That guy will definitely get me in trouble. Look how I clean him up. I'm not in the mood to deal with you right now. You can figure it out yourself. Don't tell me you're not his opponent. The peer is still looking up at the sky. Son Gohan. Son Gohan was completely speechless. Say okay, you're going to help me. Why did you ignore me at the critical moment? Go and die, son of Kakarot. Vegeta snorted coldly, and then there was no longer the slightest hesitation, and the energy in his hand directly greeted Son Gohan in the air. Son Gohan was shocked, frightened and angry. Looking at the rapid energy, Son Gohan was already unable to dodge. At this critical juncture, Son Gohan had to protect his head with his arms. At this moment, Vic saw that the situation was not good, and immediately flew forward, opening his arms and trying to resist the energy of Vegeta's attack. Uncle Vicky. Son Gohan was stunned. What are you doing? Quote. Boom. It's just that by the time Son Gohan reacted, everything was already over. Only a boom was heard, and the energy released by Vegeta hit Bike's body on the spot. The powerful energy shook Vic all over his body at that time. Uncle Bike. Son Gohan was shocked. Snap. Vic was so badly injured that he fell straight out of the air. Bang. Vic smashed to the ground, his breath getting weaker and weaker. Uncle Bike. Son Gohan was shocked and angry, and hurriedly flew down and landed beside Bike. This guy. Vegeta snorted, it's really messing up enough to disrupt my order. Forget it, they all have to die anyway, just one step earlier. Quote. Uncle Bike. Son Gohan stepped forward and shook Bike, don't die. Quote. Klin was lying in the distance, physically injured and unable to move. Gohan, get out of here quickly, run as far as possible. Vic was angry like a gossamer and whispered to Son Gohan. Uncle Bike, why are you doing this? Don't die, Daddy will be there soon. Son Gohan cried. Distance. Sun Wukong was riding on a somersault cloud and was speeding towards this side. There is an aura that is gradually weakening, and someone is going to die again. Sun Wukong was so anxious that cold sweat broke out on his face. Above the temple, the god of heaven was also gasping for breath, feeling that he was even weaker. Tenjin. Mr. Bobo looked worried. My life is coming to an end. Goku still didn't have time to rush over after all. The god sighed, but Vic surpassed me as a god in this last moment, and I am still happy for him. Quote. Tenjin. Mr. Bobo wiped his tears from the side. Yuandong. Is Vic dying too? Bulma said quietly. If you don't measure up, even if Vic doesn't go up to help, Gohan will be fine. Yuandong shook his head. You are sending yourself to death, you can't blame others. The problem is that Vic and Tenjin are the same person, and if Vic dies, the Tenjin will disappear with him. Bulma Dao. The gods will disappear with them. In this setting, Yuandong was stunned. But soon, Yuandong also felt that it was not a big deal. Isn't there still Dragon Ball? Let them be resurrected. Yuandong smiled. Besides, even if you don't use the Dragon Ball, that scepter can revive them. Quote. Scepter. You don't know yet, do you? Dragon Balls are made by Tenjin, and if Tenjin disappears, Dragon Ball will disappear with it. Bulma wiped her sweat. Oh, that's how it is. Yuandong understood. But this is not a problem, I said, I can resurrect them. Quote. I'm so pathetic. The dignified Vic Great Devil. But to protect a child, said Vic with a smile. Son Gohan couldn't stop sobbing. It's all because of your father and son. It is your kindness that influences me. Vic smiled. Gohan, I've been happy with you during this time, you can't die. Quote. Uncle Vic. Woohoo. Son Gohan howled. It's really making you noisy to death. Dunzi had a dark face and transmitted a voice to Sun Wuhan. Doesn't the extreme intention gong come with its own healing technique? You hurry up and treat him, what are you doing standing there stupidly? Quote. Son Gohan was obviously stunned, followed by surprise and delight. Yes, you don't say I forgot, thank you Dunzi, it's great. Sun Wuhan quickly thanked him, and the healing flame bloomed in his hand. Snap. Sun Gohan's healing flame directly covered Bike's body. Bike's injured body is gradually recovering. Snap. Bik opened his eyes. Vegeta on the side widened his eyes and showed a look of shock. What will this guy treat? Vegeta was genuinely surprised. No way, I have to kill him quickly. If I don't do it, when Kakarot comes over, and the two of them join forces, I will be in danger. Bang! Vegeta sped in the direction where Son Gohan was and kicked Son Gohan's chin. Son Gohan is treating Vic and never expected Vegeta to attack him at this time. Son Gohan unfortunately fell for the trick, and his body rolled several times in the empty. This time, you won't have another miracle. Vegeta snorted, his hands condensing energy. Afterburner. Vegeta's hands came together, and a powerful mass of energy condensed in his hands. This powerful mass of energy was like a dragon coming out of a hole, roaring towards the direction where Son Gohan was. Sabotage. Son Gohan gritted his teeth, and the point of destruction in his hand emerged. Phew. Son Gohan's point of destruction light hit directly on the afterburner unleashed by Vegeta. The next moment, I saw that the afterburner gun that flew over quickly turned into slag after encountering the destructive light spot. In the blink of an eye, the afterburner completely dissipated. What? How is this possible? Vegeta was stunned, and his face changed again and again in fright. What is the origin of that point of light? Why is it so powerful? Hey! Son Gohan gritted his teeth and stepped forward. In just an instant, Son Gohan and Vegeta got closer. Bang! Son Gohan appeared directly above Vegeta, clenched his hands into fists, and punched Vegeta's body. Vegeta also reacted extremely quickly, and hurriedly raised his hand to resist Son Gohan's attack. Bang! Vegeta counterattacked and flew up and hit Son Gohan in the chest. Son Gohan's body slipped backwards. Immediately afterwards, Son Gohan rushed over again. Vic almost died just now, which has completely stimulated Son Gohan's fighting spirit. Son Gohan clearly knew that if he continued to do so, then Uncle Vic and Uncle Klin would die. Anyway, I have to keep going until Dad is here. I'm not going to let Uncle Vic die again. Son Gohan turned his head to glance at nearby Vic while fighting. Fortunately, Vic has somewhat recovered a little physical strength after Son Gohan's treatment. Vic was even able to stand up. Vic was a little surprised, but he didn't expect that he was still alive. Just now, when he was dying, it seems that Gohan used some healing technique. Does this kid still heal? Vic was a little surprised. Temple. Tenjin, are you alright? Mr. Bobo found that Tenjin's already weak body had returned to substance, and his hanging heart was also relaxed. Strange. I was going to die. Not sure why it came back. Tenjin said dryly. Lord Tenjin, it's Son Gohan, he seems to know how to heal, and it was he who saved Vic just now through healing. Mr. Bobo replied. Goku's son. This little guy is really unexpected. Tenjin smiled and looked down. Tenjin soon discovers that Son Gohan is engaged in a fierce battle with Vegeta. Although Son Gohan was suppressed and beaten by Vegeta. However, Tenjin could see that Vegeta seemed a little anxious. Vegeta seems to be unable to defeat Son Gohan for a while. The gods knew that it was normal for Vegeta to be in a hurry. Because, Son Wukong will arrive at the scene soon. At that time, if Son Goku and his son Gohan join forces, Vegeta will definitely lose. It seems that we are also in danger this time, and after Goku passes, we should be able to defeat that guy with Gohan. Tenjin smiled gratifyingly. Yes, Mr. Bobo nodded vigorously. Universal Capsule Group Headquarters. Come on Gohan. Bulma is cheering for Son Gohan. It's just that Bulma is a little confused again. It's really strange, why can't Gohan's combat power value be detected on the probe? Bulma pressed the button on the detector again. Normal, that kind of energy value, I'm afraid that your instrument can't capture it, so it will show that Gohan's combat power is 0. Yuan Dong smiled slightly. The detector can't capture energy. Bulma was stunned, why is this? Quote. The reason why energy is special. Yuan Dong said with a smile. After the words fell, Yuan-dong suddenly looked up at the sky. What's wrong? Bulma asked. Someone is coming. Yuan-dong Dao. Anyone? Who? Is it Goku? Goku should pass over here. Bulma said, from the temple side to the place of battle, it seems that it will pass over the western capital, shall we go over and say hello? Quote. Yuan-dong. Say hello to Yarn. Not Goku. Yuan-dong shook his head. Not Goku. Who would that be? Bulma was slightly stunned. I'll take a look. Yuan-dong said, his figure moved, and immediately disappeared in place. Huh. Bulma was taken aback. What about people? How did it suddenly disappear? Ah. Wondong soon appears at the scene of the battle between Son Gohan and Vegeta. Master. Dunzi was overjoyed and immediately jumped onto Yuan-dong's shoulder. Yuan-dong took the Dunzi in his arms and rubbed his head. What? Yuan-dong. Vegeta is fighting with Son Gohan, but he glances at Yuan-dong who doesn't know when he appeared. Vegeta's eyes widened, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. Bang! Vegeta's distraction was seized by Son Gohan and punched him in the nose. Vegeta's nosebleed came out of his nostrils. Abominable. This abominable little ghost. It seems that I don't move the truth, you don't know how powerful I am. Vegeta rubbed the blood on his nose, and his forehead burst. Bang! Vegeta unleashes energy and hits Son Gohan in the abdomen with a punch. Poof! Son Gohan spewed out another mouthful of acidic water. Just because you little bunny, you still want to challenge me? Vegeta snorted angrily, and flew up and kicked Son Gohan's body again. Son Gohan was kicked upside down and flew out at that time. But soon, Son Gohan got up from the ground. Hey, Uncle Yuan-dong. Son Gohan glanced at Yuan-dong who appeared at the scene. You go on. Yuan-dong smiled. Son Wuhan. Dunzi, you sensed it too, right? Yuan-dong did not go to take care of Son Gohan. To be honest, this level of fighting is simply like an ant fight for Yuan-dong. But sometimes it's fun to watch ants fight. But now, Yuan-dong has clearly sensed the two people who are about to appear above the earth. Master, I did sense that in no more than 2 minutes, they should arrive on Earth. Dunzi nodded and replied, they are the destruction god of the 11th universe, Mime and the angel Makarita. Quote. They came to Earth to trouble you? Yuan-dong asked. It's not a hassle, is it? I had made an appointment with Mimi to have a fight. Dunzi replied, but then I forgot, plus when I met the master, I didn't take him seriously. He should have gone to the 6th universe to find me before, and seeing that I was not there, he should have come to the 7th universe to find a pull. Probably discovered me by accident. Quote. If it's just a normal discussion, then forget it, I won't take the lead for you. Yuan-dong smiled. Thank you, host. Dunzi quickly thanked him, but what gives me the most headache now is I haven't finished cultivating the extreme intention skill in this form. If I fight him at this time, it's best not to switch to an adult form, right, master? Quote. That's right, once you switch to adulthood, it will be affected a little, and it may take more than half a year to cultivate. Yuan-dong nodded. I can't wait this long. It's almost done. I feel like I still have 3 or 5 days to complete the extreme effort. Mound scratched his head. Even if you don't have to change into human form now, you can easily beat that god of destruction. Yuan-dong Dao. That's true. The question is, master, what I look like this? I'm afraid they'll laugh at me. Dunzi wiped the sweat. You can say you're your illegitimate child. Yuan-dong said with a smile. Dunzi, this way you don't have to reveal your true identity. Yuan-dong smiled slightly. The mound wiped the sweat vigorously. Master, this is also a way. I don't think it's too beautiful to be able to tell, but the angel next to him, Makarita, should be able to see my true identity. Dunzi thought about it and said to Yuan-dong. Well, I'll lure the angel next to him away for you, so it shouldn't be a big problem, right? Yuan-dong smiled. Huh, that's a good idea. Dunzi nodded vigorously. Wow, click. If I was beaten in the form of a cat, and I thought it was my son, I think he would doubt his life. Quote. Then, Yuan-dong said, and with a wave of his big hand, a layer of special energy was covered on Dunzi's body. Master, this is. Dunzi was stunned, unable to understand what the master was trying to do. This layer of energy that I cover your body can make it impossible for his angels to see you through the scepter. Yuan Dong smiled and said, that is, unless this angel sees it with his own eyes, he may be able to recognize your identity. Quote. During this time, Yuan Dong did not study the scepter. Yuan Dong also researched what kind of energy can shield the scepter's exploration of them. Now what Yuan Dong covers the pier is the unexplored energy that makes the scepter. That's great. Dunzi was excited. Well, I'll go and lure that angel away. Yuan Dong patted Dunzi's head. Master, be careful, angels are powerful. Dunzi said quickly. It should be her who should be careful. Yuan Dong smiled and put the pier on the ground. Phew. Yuan Dong soared into the sky, and disappeared in place in a flash. Vegeta. Hey, Yuan Dong, stop for me. Vegeta quickly shouted loudly. Vegeta was furious. This guy doesn't even look at me. Actually ignoring my existence. Yuan Dong, I'm not done with you. Bang bang. At this moment, Son Gohan came quickly and launched a fierce attack on Vegeta. Vegeta was caught off guard and retreated as he was beaten. However, Vegeta also reacted extremely quickly, and after catching Son Gohan's attacking punches and kicks, his body jumped back sharply and quickly rushed over. Bang! Vegeta slammed one elbow directly into Son Gohan's face. Son Gohan's body slipped backwards, and his feet rubbed the ground, leaving 2 long marks on the ground. Son Gohan had just stabilized his body, but suddenly sensed that Vegeta had appeared behind him. Hey! Vegeta punched and punched. Ah! Son Gohan hurriedly dodged sideways, turned around gorgeously, and kicked over. Vegeta also avoided Son Gohan's kick, and quickly punched again. Snap! Son Gohan blocked Vegeta's attack, and a point of destruction condensed in the palm of his hand. Son Gohan slapped his palm over. Vegeta's eyes were quick and he hurriedly dodged it. Bang! Vegeta kicked another kick and hit Son Gohan's shoulder directly. Son Gohan's body shook for a moment, gritting his teeth and attacking Vegeta. Bang bang! The two fought from the ground to the air, and for a while they were evenly divided. What? Why did I suddenly feel that this kid's combat effectiveness was gradually improving? Vegeta gritted his teeth. It's not okay to fight like this. It seems that I can't do it without moving the truth. Below, Vic was stunned. How did Gohan this kid become so powerful? Klin was also surprised. Gohan is so capable of fighting. Actually fought with this Saiyan named Vegeta. HMPH, little cub, what destruction you just did doesn't work, right? Vegeta laughed maniacally as he fought. It seems that you can only get that. Quote. Bang. Saying that, the two punched each other again and fell backwards respectively. In contrast, Son Gohan takes a little more steps backwards than Vegeta. Vegeta actually took 2 steps back. Abominable. Son Gohan gritted his teeth. This guy is really difficult. My sabotage doesn't hit him at all. If I can hit him, maybe I can win. Earth, outer atmosphere. This is Earth's outer space. There is no air in this area. If Monkey King or Vegeta came to this area, it would hardly take long to live and suffocate on the spot. At this moment, Makarita and Mimi had already appeared in this area, looking at the blue planet below. Makarita, is Elephant Paw on this planet? Mimi stared down and asked with a smile. That's right, although I don't know how he broke the signal, but I can sense that he is on this planet. Makarita nodded. So, as long as I destroy this planet, he will appear directly. Mimi smiled and stretched out her hand to the earth. Makarita, ahem, let's forget about the delicious adults. Makarita wiped her sweat. This is the 7th universe after all, and it is a little inappropriate for you to do this. Quote. Yes. Wei Mei nodded slightly. Haha, I thought this was our 11th universe. Quote. Lord Mime, shall we go down and find him? Makarita asked. Okay, I'd rather see what he's doing on this planet. Michi nodded. The two were about to fall in the direction of the earth. Phew. At the moment when the two were just about to fall, Yuandong rose from the earth. Just in an instant, Yuandong appeared opposite Waimai and Makarita. Yuandong was slightly stunned after seeing Makarita. Are you? Yuandong recognized Makarita at a glance. Isn't this the angel who spoke to me with the scepter? It turned out that her name was Makarita. I thought your name was so mysterious. Yes, it's you. Makarita was also a little surprised, and also looked at Yuandong without blinking. Isn't this the one who took the scepter of Bardos? But don't say, this person is quite handsome. It seems that it really looks like Bardos likes. Just the color of the person's skin. Can Bardos like this skin tone? Belch. It's not a problem. We can change his skin color. As long as his skin color turns blue, Bardos should not have much of an obstacle. After seeing Yuandong, Makarita thought a little too much for a while. But after thinking about these things, Makarita was a little entangled. That's not right. Father, Lord Father, gave Bardos to the Lord of the small city. If you mess around like this, the little city lord will definitely be angry. I feel that in the near future, the small city lord will be green on his head. Wei Mei was also slightly stunned, silently looking at Yuandong on the side. Who is this guy? Never seen before. What's your name? Makarita smiled and asked. I didn't expect you to be on this planet. Quote. I am the Universe Emperor Yuandong. Yuandong added a title in front of his name. Cosmic Emperor. Makarita was stunned. Delicious taste. It's a good name. Planet in Frieza. Frieza is currently on this planet. Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball that can grant any wish. Frieza watched with interest as the little brother reported the Dragon Ball to himself. Your Excellency Frieza, are we going to Earth? Sob asked. No, it's too late to go to Earth now. Frieza smiled slightly. Didn't Vegeta say that it was the Namex who made the Dragon Ball? Why don't we go to that buster? Quote. Your Excellency Frieza is wise. The Dortoria Alliance patted the horse on the sidelines. HMPH, as long as I find the Dragon Ball, my Universe Emperor Frieza will become the real master of this universe. Frieza laughed and laughed happily. Your Excellency Frieza, shall we leave for Nemesis now? Sob asked. Don't worry, listen to Vegeta's meaning that a Saiyan who died on Earth with Raditz before, if this person is resurrected, it means that the Dragon Ball thing is true. Frieza smiled. If there is no resurrection, it means that everything is a fantasy. Quote. Sob and Dortoria suddenly realized. It is worthy of your Excellency Frieza, who is really thoughtful enough. Ah, Frieza said and suddenly sneezed. Hee, it seems that someone is saying bad things about me behind my back again. Frieza's smile appeared, and a hint of killing intent appeared in his triangular eyes. Your Excellency Frieza, who will speak ill of you? Vegeta is fighting now, and supposedly it shouldn't be him. Sob smiled and said, although I don't see that guy very well. Quote. Shouldn't there be another Cosmic Emperor in this universe? Dortoria joked. Because of the same name, His Excellency Frieza sneezed, and the last time His Excellency Frieza sneezed seemed to be months ago. Quote. Frieza glanced at Doria, her eyes narrowing slightly. Your Excellency Frieza, I'm just kidding, please don't mind. Doria was startled and hurriedly knelt down. Doria, this joke is not funny at all. Frieza said with a dark face. Yes, I will never make such a boring joke next time. Doria quickly replied respectfully, cold sweat breaking out on her back. Earth, outer atmosphere. That's right, Universe Emperor Yuandong. Yuandong nodded. Poof, that's a funny name. Makarita burst out laughing. I don't know who gave him such a name. Cosmic Emperor. It seems to be interesting. Are you questioning my title? Yuandong frowned. No, I just think this title is quite interesting, and I don't mean to disparage you. Makarita said with a smile. Phew, Yuandong turned into a stream of light at that time, and only appeared directly opposite Makarita in an instant, so fast that Makarita didn't even react. Snap, Yuandong grabbed the scepter in Makarita's hand. Makarita, how many meanings? Are you trying to snatch the scepter from my hand? That's all you took away from Bardo's scepter. Do you still want to snatch my scepter now? Makarita was not happy at that time, and tightly grasped her scepter, not meaning to let go. Trinket. Yuandong suddenly reached under Makarita's armpit and scratched her body a few times. Cluck. Makarita smiled like a flower. Snap. Yuandong snatched Makarita's scepter. Phew. Immediately afterwards, Yuandong turned into a stream of light and sped away into the distance. In just an instant, Yuandong disappeared without a trace. Makarita. Delicious taste. What the? Do you even dare to snatch the scepter of angels? Hey, Makarita, your scepter was snatched by him. It tastes so delicious that it wipes its sweat. This product is really brave. Dare to snatch the scepter of the angel. I don't know who gave you the guts. I saw it. Makarita's face darkened. It's too much, this guy. It actually tickled me. Then take the opportunity to snatch my scepter. He can't run, his speed is far from mine. Makurita smiled slightly, her face full of confidence. Even if I don't have the blessing of the scepter, I can easily catch up with him. Quote. Want me to help? Wei Mei asked. This guy is really bold. The next time I meet, I will definitely beat him all over the ground to find his teeth. Quote. No, I'll do it myself. Makurita said, and the bright light on her body bloomed. Phew. Makurita turned into a stream of light and quickly chased in the direction where Yuan Dong was just now. Yuan Dongfei flew and gradually slowed down. Yuan Dong let go of the induction slightly, and sure enough, he sensed that Makurita was tracking him. Attracted you so easily? That's right, after all, I'm robbing. Just snatch your scepter away. It's strange that Makurita is not in a hurry. Looking at the departing Makurita, she shook her head and dragged her chin in thought. What's the situation? Who is this man? The guts are really fat. Even the scepter of the angel dares to grab it. Forget it, leave him alone, I'll go down and find that guy like Pa. No, destroy the planet directly. It's too hard to find. Mimi is hesitating to destroy the planet. If the planet is directly destroyed, Champa will automatically appear. Otherwise, it is more troublesome to find. Because of the delicious taste, Champa has now hidden his breath. It is still more troublesome to find a god of destruction with a hidden breath. Unless the angel is around. The problem is, Makurita ran after the people who snatched her scepter. As for Makurita, it is better not to destroy the planet. After all, this is the territory of Beerus. For Taste Mead, this is not a problem. Because in the eyes of Waimai, such a worthless planet, destroyed is destroyed. Can Beerus still be anxious with me? Besides, Beerus was sleeping, and I was working for him. Spoil it, I'm too lazy to look for it. Delicious muttered, his big hand waved downward, and the energy condensation in his hand was destroyed. Phew, the destructive energy was released from Mimido's hands and roared in the direction of the earth. Champa clearly felt that the delicious goods were going to destroy the planet. Champa felt that the whole person was not good. This is the owner's planet. Here is the owner's girlfriend. You actually dare to destroy this planet. Meow. Champa turned into a stream of light and rushed quickly towards the distance. Vegeta, who was fighting with Son Gohan, was startled when she saw the cat suddenly leap into the air and disappear at a very fast speed. What's the situation? How did that cat go so fast? It has long been heard that cats are 9 times faster than cats. But now it seems that it is possible that this cat is 900 times faster than a cat. It was too fast that even I couldn't see where he went. Bang! Right at the moment when Vegeta was in a daze there. Son Gohan sped up and punched Vegeta in the face. Bang! Immediately afterwards, Sun Wu attacked Vegeta violently. Bang! Son Gohan kicked over again, kicking Vegeta upside down and flying out. Son Gohan followed up, ready to give Vegeta another mending knife. Snap! Vegeta, however, quickly changed his figure in the air, and flew up with a kick, directly hitting Son Gohan's chin. Son Gohan grinned in pain. We've reached your limit now, right? Vegeta snorted, I didn't expect that dealing with such a small thing as you would have to consume so much energy from me. This is the end of the game. Before your father comes here, I'm going to wipe you out completely. Quote. Vegeta said that, but he was a little uneasy in his heart. Suddenly it didn't seem that the cat was very simple. That's just too fast. No, hurry up and finish withdrawing. Otherwise, it will be planted here. I won't lose to you. Son Gohan gritted his teeth. HMPH, who gave you the confidence? Vegeta smiled softly. Huh, what is that thing? As soon as Sun Wuhan's words fell, he suddenly saw a purple-red flame the size of a basketball appear in the distant sky. The purple-red flame of light roared towards the direction where the earth was, carrying an endless aura of destruction. Son Gohan's pupils shrank sharply, his whole body trembled, and his face became extremely ugly. Sun Wuhan had practiced the extreme intention gong and could clearly sense the thing. It's kind of like destroying energy. And I don't know how many times stronger than my own destructive energy. With your own destructive energy, you can easily destroy a mountain. Such a large destructive energy, although it is only the size of a basketball, but the power in it is very huge. What Son Gohan can imagine is that if this thing hits the earth, BCCJ. The earth doesn't shatter like soap bubbles on the spot, does it? Who released such a thing? Little bunny, are you trying to deliberately attract my attention so that you can sneak up on me? Vegeta smiled coldly. Don't show this boring trick of yours in front of me. Do you think I Vegeta will be fooled? Quote. That thing. It's dangerous. Can't get the earth. Sun Wuhan said half of his words, fixed his eyes again, and was surprised to find that the pier had already soared into the sky. The pier seemed to be heading towards the destructive energy mound. Be careful. Sun Gohan was shocked and hurriedly shouted loudly. Although this distance does not know if the pier can hear it. What? Vegeta glanced back curiously. Vegeta also saw such a huge destructive energy with his own eyes. What is that thing? Who made that? How is it so many times bigger than what this little cub came up with? Wait a minute. Isn't that the cat? How did that cat fly up? What does he want to do? For a while, Vegeta didn't care about attacking Son Gohan. Vegeta also sensed something wasn't quite right. The purple-red ball of light was smashing in the direction of the earth. If you really hit the earth, Vegeta felt that the earth would be shattered on the spot. At that time, I couldn't run even if I wanted to. No way. Earth is so weird. I have to get out of here quickly. Snap. Vegeta quickly pulled out the spaceship's remote control. Vegeta pressed several buttons on the remote control. Below, Vic and Klin also looked up at the sky. The two also saw purple light clusters appear in the sky. What is that? Klin exclaimed. Vic didn't answer. Vic keenly discovered that the cat had gone to meet the light mass. What would happen next? Vic couldn't figure it out. Further afield, Sun Wukong was speeding towards this side on a somersault cloud. While Sun Wukong was marching, he sensed that Vic's breath was restored. Sun Wukong showed a confused look. What's going on? Is that breath Vic the? How did he recover? How strange. But it's okay. It's just that now Sun Wukong is still more confused. That evil aura is constantly changing. But his opponent doesn't know who it is. Because Sun Wukong couldn't sense the existence of that person's breath at all. Sun Wukong could only sense that in addition to this evil aura, there were two other breaths at the scene, both of which were relatively weak. Sun Wukong thought, could it be that this evil aura has been torturing them? Duyun, hurry up, please. Sun Wukong was in a hurry, and he couldn't wait to arrive at the scene immediately. Sun Wukong was flying, sensing something, and was speeding towards him. What is it? Sun Wukong was stunned, and immediately turned his head and glanced behind him. The next moment, Sun Wukong saw a ball flying towards him. What a speed! It's amazing. Faster than the speed of the muscles. Sun Wukong's eyes widened. Bang! Seeing that the ball was about to hit him, Sun Wukong suddenly slapped it over. Phew! Vegeta's spacecraft was tumbling several times in the air. Snap! Vegeta's spaceship fell from the air, bounced off the ground several times, and was completely immobile. What? Sun Wukong scratched his head and shouted very much to the universe below, it's you who want to sneak up on me. Hey, are you all right? Quote. The spacecraft did not move at all. Strange guy. Sun Wukong looked confused. Suddenly engaged in a sneak attack. I almost didn't react. Sorry, I really didn't mean to. I still have very important things to do. Come back and see you. Monkey King shouted at the spaceship. Phew. The cloud cut a golden arc in the air and flew quickly towards the distance. Vegeta waited left and right and didn't see his universe. The spaceship came over. What's going on? What about my spaceship? With the technology of this planet, even if I swept my spaceship away, I didn't have the ability to open it. Why is the spaceship missing? Vegeta ached. High in the sky. The pier quickly rushed forward, and a cat's claw slapped on the mass of destructive energy. Snap! This mass of destructive energy released by the taste of beauty immediately dissipated and immediately turned into slag. Mimi glanced down, and naturally saw the strange kitten. Where did this cat come from? Like Pa illegitimate son. Phew. The pier sped up and appeared directly opposite the delicious taste. Who are you? Like Pa. Wei Mei smiled and looked at the mound. Dunzi, I'm trying to fool you so that you don't understand my true identity. I didn't expect you to actually say it yourself. Dunzi nodded vigorously. You're so right, wouldn't you? Is it really the illegitimate son of the guy like Pa? I was so happy that I laughed and thought it was a very funny event. Dunzi looked at the taste so calmly, and did not mean to speak. Since the other party has already said my identity, is it necessary for me to speak? Too much talk can make you lose it all. Dunzi still understands this very well. Don't speak, and then fix him. It is better to repair him to the point of doubting life. That's even more interesting. What about your old man? Tell him and let him hurry up and give me out. Wei Mei smiled. Say that you want to have a good fight. Is it a key moment? Quote. As for the scene where the peer slapped the energy to pieces just now, there was nothing surprising about the taste. After all, the destructive energy just now was only released casually. That destructive energy is as powerful as ever. But destroying one planet is more than enough. Originally, it was so delicious that I wanted to attract Elephant Pa. As a result, instead of Pa, his son did. Suddenly found such a kitten, delicious, and subconsciously thought that this was Shangpa's illegitimate child. Otherwise, what did Shangpa suddenly run to this planet for? And I stayed here for almost a year. Be sure to come and play with the female cat. It was so beautiful that I felt that this kind of thing was normal, and there was nothing to complain about. Meow. The peer let out a cat bark, and the two cat paws were also eager to try. Oh, what did you say? You're not trying to challenge me, are you? Are you going to challenge me in place of your father? Interesting. Quote. Meow. Mound nodded. Boy, did your father tell you? We are the god of destruction. Our strength is a very powerful existence. Do you dare to challenge me with a small thing that has not transformed into a human form? It's so beautiful that I laughed. Meow. Dragon teeth. Oh, you are quite combative, much stronger than your old man. You lousy runs every time he sees me. Quote. Dunzi grinned, eager to step forward and scratch the taste to death. What to say? Who runs every time they see you? I'm just lazy and don't want to fight you. Do you think I'm really afraid of you? Your last god of destruction, Dugs, was beaten all over the ground by me. How old are you? Give you the wind and you are the rain. Dunzi's face emerged. In that case, then I will teach you a good lesson for your old son. It was so beautiful that I laughed. Ah! The beautiful figure shook and grabbed it in the direction of the pier. The pier reacted extremely quickly, jumped into the air, and appeared directly above the taste. Phew! Mound scratched with a paw. This claw passed, leaving 5 long blood marks on Wei Mead's face at that time. I was stunned. What is this situation? How is this guy so fast? I actually let him scratch it. Meow. After the mound succeeded, he showed a smug smile on his face. Immediately afterwards, Dunzi turned around and ran, quickly fleeing towards the opposite direction of the earth. The pier is to leave the range where the earth is located. This level of fighting may not be how fierce it will be after a while. If you accidentally destroy the planet where your owner lives, it is a sin. So Dunzi needs to take the taste away and find a location far away from Earth to fight. Mimi was furious. I accidentally got hit. I can't spare you. Now it's so delicious that I can't take care of the Earth. Mimi quickly chased in the direction of Itsuko. I actually let the son of Shangpa leave a scar on his face. How shameful is it to pass it out? If I don't beat this kitten today, I won't destroy the gods. Phew. The purple-red light flame bloomed on the body of Wei Mei, speeding up the march. The pier deliberately slowed down so that the taste could catch up. The pier flew and glanced back. When Dunzi found that the taste was already close to him. Phew. The pier suddenly accelerated, and once again distanced itself from the delicious taste. What? How did this little cub get so fast? Wei Mei was a little surprised, but soon smiled coldly. You think that only speed is amazing? I'd rather see how long you can fly. Quote. The taste was not in a hurry, and it was in hot pursuit. You always have a time to drain your energy, right? When you can't fly, I'm going to fix you hard. Sure enough, felines are not a good thing. It's so cheap. Take advantage of such a little advantage and immediately slip away. You're going to keep fighting. Dunzi and Mimi are engaged in a chase battle in the universe. Another location. Wandong and Makarita are also engaged in a chase battle. Yuan Dong flew in front. Makarita tracked behind. Makarita, he's pretty fast. It was a bit of a surprise. Could it be someone from the City of Angels? Otherwise, how could the speed reach this level? Moreover, his body also bloomed with brilliant flames like the power of angels. City of Angels. Makurita frowned. Since you are from the City of Angels, what are you robbing my scepter for? Don't you have it yourself? It's not right either. If it's really someone who came out of the City of Angels, he shouldn't have been so close to Bardos. Isn't that just uncomfortable? Could it be the enemy of the Lord of the small city? Did you specially run over to the Green City Lord? Makurita thought a lot. Hey. Immediately afterwards, Makurita's jade hand gently pointed forward. An angelic force directly covered the scepter. Suddenly, the scepter in Yuandong's hand began to tremble, trying to escape Yuandong's control. Bang! Yuandong had nothing to say, and punched the crystal ball of the scepter. The scepter was directly honest, and the luster on his body also dimmed down. Makurita, how barbaric. I can't even bear to fight. I feel like you're having a good time. And also, with this punch of yours, the angelic power stored on my scepter will be almost broken up by you. It's shameless. Phew. Yuandong increased his speed a little again and flew in this universe with Makurita. Makurita was in hot pursuit. Chasing and chasing, Yuandong suddenly came to a gorgeous turn, and just opened his arms to welcome the arrival of Makurita. Makurita felt that the whole person was not good. Give Makurita the feeling that if she doesn't break immediately, she will definitely throw herself into his arms. How inappropriate. Hey. Makurita snorted and punched her. Ah. Yuandong leaned slightly to the side, dodged Makurita's fist, and grabbed her arm. Snap. Yuandong suddenly took Makurita's arm, pulled her into his arms, and gave her a hug. Makurita. But then, Yuandong pushed Makurita away again. Makurita looked confused. I felt as if I had been disgusted by him. Suddenly remembered, your skin is blue, and the two of us don't seem to be compatible. Yuandong muttered. You. Makurita burst into furiousness. Before Makurita could finish speaking, Yuandong turned around and ran, and soon flew away under Makurita's gaze. Makurita felt like she was being toyed with. It's outrageous. As an angel, you are meant to have a peaceful heart. Let you do this, I feel like I'm a little cranky. If I don't catch up with you and beat you up today, I won't be Makurita. Makurita's chest rose and fell, and the bright flames of light bloomed on her body, speeding up the tracking. The two left two brilliant flames of light in this sea of stars. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.